Yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. Out the world, it's cold, but I'm on to love. Yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. If you see me staring at you, better not cool up. Cause yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. I said the world is cold, but I'm on to love. Yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. If you see me staring at you, better not cool up. I said the world is cold, but I'm on to love. I said the world is cold, but I'm on to love. Yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. If you see me staring at you, better not cool up. Come on, do love. Ain't no freaking dissing, I'm a killer. What I got to, slide, get this glitter.
We can go. We're good.
Oh, I didn't.
We're good.
I was waiting. I didn't know if you. I was going to talk first, or
I don't
you,
know.
or,
Whatever.
I don't
I
know.
don't have a can anymore, so
Why not? You're not a can guy.
I lost my
now?
can in the war. I don't know.
What?
I just drink out of a bottle, like a baby.
The bottom of the bottle. I've been listening to "Smile Empty Soul" lately.
Okay.
Remember that song?
No.
Bottom of the bottle.
No.
I'll play it for you later.
Is that the band or the song?
The band is called "Smile Empty Soul." The song's called "Bottom of the Bottle."
Oh. Okay.
It's not a good song. It's
Oh.
just.
Okay.
Me and Feeney and Joe Mercy have been making a motocross core playlist on Spotify.
Okay.
And motocross core, it's pretty much what you think it is, just a bunch of shitty rock.
Okay.
So it
I like
kind
it.
of
All right.
works. So
Yeah.
all right,
All right. I've been listening to King Missile, so
I don't know what that is.
yeah, you have no idea, but
Nope.
other people will.
I don't know if they will.
They will.
King Missile.
I guarantee you, we will get at least one tweet. I'll guarantee we'll get 2 tweets about King Missile. Don't look it up.
I have to.
No, don't look it up.
Fucking not
Don't look it
know.
up. Don't say it then. People are going
Hold
to
on.
we're going to get tweets about it.
Is this like some weird K-pop shit?
No.
Oh, really? You've been listening to that?
No.
I was gonna say, what the fuck is wrong with you? You played that song for me once. I was like, what's happening?
We'll get at least 2 tweets about it and from different people.
Wow. I do like their other song called Jesus Was Way Cool.
There you go. He was.
Off the album Mystical Shit.
Sure.
That's fun.
So,
Also followed by Cheesecake Truck.
there you go. Sounds like a great
Sure.
idea.
I would love Cheesecake.
King Missile for life. For life.
So, are you alright with cheesecake or because it reminds you of a piece of cheese on a cake and you can't eat it? Like some other people we know?
No, that's
All right.
nonsense.
All right,
Get
good.
out of here. That's fucking bullshit. I love cheesecake. I eat a whole cheesecake right now if it's put in front of me.
I may put that to the test
I would
next
eat a
week.
whole cheesecake,
All right.
even plain. I don't care.
Ew, even just plain?
Yeah, I love cheesecake.
What if I get you one of those variety cheesecakes?
Yeah, I don't like I don't like chocolate a ton, but I'll still house it. I don't
Okay.
care. I like the fruit toppings and stuff, but I'll eat a whole cheesecake. I don't care. I don't give a
All right.
shit.
All right,
Do
cool.
whatever you want.
Let me have one slice of it, then you can have the rest.
All right.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I'm down for
I
that.
think I won't.
I'm not
My
down.
wife will stop me.
Yeah, but she's sleeping, so we're
Oh,
going to
so-
do this during the podcast
okay.
next week.
All right. Next
Yeah.
week on the podcast, you bring up a cheesecake.
I will.
And through the course of the episode, I
Yeah,
will eat
you
the
eat the
entire
entire
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
I will.
Oh, man, you're going to get stomach hurties, though. That'll be good. I almost said brain scramblers.
Brain scramblers.
In New York City.
Yeah. Now, so tune in next week. We've already ruined this show because why are you going to listen to this shit when you know that next week
we need cheesecake.
I'm going to be housing an entire cheesecake while we talk?
What if I just don't remember to bring it up?
Well, that's on you.
Fuck.
Yeah. Cheesecakes are expensive, too. You're not getting reimbursed for cheesecake expense.
What am I, a poor?
No, but, just,
Okay.
yeah, it's just going to pay. You're going to pay like 30.
I can afford a
You
cheesecake.
got to pay like $35 just to watch a dude sit across from a table from you
Yeah, I
and
don't
get
know if
sick
it's
to
that
his
good.
stomach.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if it's that good of a bit.
Right. It's probably not.
Nah.
It's
Can we just like enjoy a piece of
It's
a piece of cheesecake?
It's a way
next week?
better bit for me than it is for you or the listeners.
Yeah, but like you're gonna get a real bad tummy ache.
I absolutely
and
am.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Can we just enjoy some cheesecake as friends, maybe?
We could.
All right.
I don't see the fun in that, but we could.
Would you rather share a cheesecake with than your friends?
Well, right. And just, there's just no epicness to you and I sharing a piece of cheesecake together as opposed to me embarrassing myself by eating an entire cheesecake on my own. But that's beside the point. Again, welcome to wrestling.
I refute that point.
Let's get past that. Let's move on. How are you, pal?
I'm good. How are you, pal?
I'm great. We certainly aren't re-recording 20 minutes of this episode at 1 a.m.
No, definitely not doing that.
Absolutely not, because there certainly wasn't a corrupt audio file at all. I'm doing wonderful. Let's talk wrestling.
Hey, let's do that. Jeff Jarrett's gone. Road Dogg's back. Jeff Jarrett's gone. Conrad Championship Wrestling.
Right.
World Conrad Championship Wrestling.
So
Jeff Jarrett gone.
Yeah, so we already talked about this, but you didn't hear it. So Jeff Jarrett removed and/or left his position. Who knows? Jeff Jarrett will never tell. Clearly, he's gotten paid, and he is going to start Conrad Championship Wrestling or World Conrad Wrestling.
Time to feel the global force.
Right, World Championship Conrad, Conrad Championship Wrestling, Extreme Conrad Wrestling.
Oh God, it works.
Who knows? But clearly that's what they're gonna do, right?
You would think.
Good for Jarrett. Listen, here's the thing: Jeff Jarrett never loses.
Never lost.
And everybody needs to remember that. So
just show me bring around Karen Jarrett and all's gravy,
right.
My friend.
This isn't Jeff Jarrett losing a position. This is Jeff Jarrett creating the new position where he's going to fail upwards, and he's got money and he's going to put it into something. He got a fucking broken skull special. He was an executive in a company, and he is going to go somewhere and just.
The man doesn't lose, that's for sure.
Conrad said weeks ago that everything that they did for Ric Flair's last match was all part of Ric Flair's master plan. Ric Flair's going to be involved. They're going to start their own fucking promotion.
Oh, it makes me sick.
Right, and they're going to try and get on TV, maybe? I don't know where.
I'm sure
maybe just
Conrad owns a part of Vice or something.
Maybe they do. Well, because Jarrett was super involved with Impact when they were doing the weekly pay-per-views, right?
He's still in the company.
Yeah, so maybe they do that. Maybe they go
weekly pay-per-view.
They go back to the weekly $10 pay-per-view or whatever, or just a monthly, just monthly pay-per-view shows, and that's that. Maybe they do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. Jarrett never loses.
Sure doesn't.
Jarrett never loses. Vince McMahon has a girlfriend who carries a purse in her mouth. Apparently.
Still weird.
Companion? Did they say companion? That's real creepy. Is she his home health aide?
He was covering his face. And looking
good for him.
Great.
Wonderful. It's shocked Stephanie McMahon sent a happy birthday to him. I'd be embarrassed. All right. The second biggest thing that everyone's talking about this week.
Yes.
Eddie Kingston, Sammy Guevara. Mm-hmm. Lots of internet controversy to talk about. We'll cover this later in the show.
Yes.
But depending on who you believe, what story you believe, Eddie got suspended. Him and Sammy got into an altercation. The story, nobody really knew what was coming out, which is kind of one of the joys of AEW. They kind of keep this stuff a little close to the vest.
As I said to you, I ride for Eddie no matter what.
Absolutely. So. Right, Eddie's our guy.
It's fuck Sammy Guevara.
Right,
from here on
Sammy
out.
is getting a reputation for being difficult. Was sort of the original story. If you hear that, it was sort of Eddie stepped up and was like, "I'll work with him because nobody else wants to," but Eddie's going to go over, and he, Sammy said something in a promo, and Eddie didn't like it, so there was a confrontation backstage, and it got physical, and Eddie got suspended, and Eddie's our guy. I love Eddie with all my heart. Yep. Eddie's one of, if not my favorite guy in that company right now. Definitely the most fun I have watching. But and I had a hard time wrapping my head around this, and I was talking to Michelle about it a lot the last couple days. And the thing that I had a hard time wrapping my head around is that that's their workplace, and if I was working an office job and I pie-faced somebody at work, I'd also get in trouble.
Sick.
Right. But I'd also get in trouble. Doesn't mean Sammy didn't deserve it. Doesn't mean sometimes people don't deserve to get fucking pie-faced for being shitty. But that's Tony Khan put in a hard position, and it's what it is. And Eddie got physical, and Eddie
need to get mushed.
And Eddie admitted that he was wrong and he made a mistake and whatever. And I think Eddie's in a weird place. Because the Jericho thing really hurt him, and the Sammy thing wouldn't be doing him any favors; it'd be doing Sammy favors. And then sort of the stories come out back and forth.
Sammy with that weird fucking statement talking about the whole situation. Ugh.
And
making himself look like a bigger douche.
Right. So the stories are being held close to the vest. Eddie's kind of that guy, and. He'll keep it close to the vest he'll tweet stuff and use social media because he always wants to have something in his back pocket. And he said some things in some promos or that autograph signing and whatever.
But if you watch the video from that autograph signing, he talks about everyone.
Right, exactly. Because he's always ready to go and have a program with somebody if he needs something to fall back on. And so we didn't really know, and Eddie didn't make an official statement. AEW wasn't talking about it, which is how you know it's real stuff behind the scenes. And, Eddie takes stuff real seriously, and maybe Sammy doesn't. And Sammy's programs have been real shitty, and his stock has fallen tremendously.
Yep.
Is it Sammy Anglin trying to agitate enough to angle for him to maybe leave because he thinks maybe he has a shot at Hunter? That's also a possibility in WWE. That's a whole other kettle of fish to talk about. But the Sammy statement, like you said, comes out earlier today, and he was like, Eddie's unprofessional. He didn't come talk to me. And Eddie's statement was like, well, Sammy didn't make himself available to me because he was off doing his shit. But Sammy was like, Sammy's off limits stuff was, you can't talk about how I got engaged to my girlfriend live on AEW TV, and then 3 months later we weren't together anymore, and then 3 months after that I got married to a coworker, and rightfully so. But I think people see through that and don't like Sammy for it.
Yep.
And Eddie sort of didn't, but Eddie's point, like Sammy's statement was like, Eddie didn't tell me anything and whatever, and he was unprofessional and blah, blah, blah. And,
Eddie didn't say anything was off limits.
Right.
But his whole point was, hey, if you're going to call me a fat piece of shit,
right,
and I'm supposed to beat you it all out, then you just got beat by a fat piece
That's
of shit.
not something you should have to tell somebody who's off limits. Right. That's not something you should have to tell a wrestler is off limits, because all that does is hurt the program and hurt Sammy in the long run, right? And what the hell? Oh, Sammy today maybe put out a little too much information, which I'm not going to get into here, but a little bit too much about what maybe was part of Eddie's punishment. Mm-hmm. I think that's a little bit too much insider information and might catch him with even more heat. I would hope that maybe Eddie's smart enough to stay away from him, but he's not earning any wins in that locker room with that kind of shit.
Sure isn't.
And especially from like guys like Jericho, who really respect sort of the stuff that Eddie does about keeping a promo. Yeah. So everyone, and listen, Jericho really hurt Eddie in his shit, but like promo wise, the old thinking of not hurting, making sure everybody comes out okay, and you don't want to put anybody down because Eddie was booked to win, and you lose. You're losing to a fat piece of shit. Like, that's a problem for you. And so I don't think that's so much like, well, Eddie should have told me not to say that. No, you should know not to say that. You should be professional and better at your job. Yeah. But I think Sammy's proving to everyone that he's not better at his job. And we'll always have our favorites, and we'll always sort of side with somebody and everything. And Eddie can admit that he was wrong, and I can say, yeah, you know what, he probably shouldn't have slapped him. But that doesn't mean that Sammy didn't deserve it. And I completely understand the urge of wanting to.
Absolutely.
And Eddie's a real one. And if you get in his face and you cock off to him, Eddie also is the kind of guy that's
you're going to get checked.
But Eddie's also the kind of guy who's like, I'll just go back to being a bricklayer. Like, I'll go work construction and leave all this behind if you think you can get one over on me, because I'll fuck you up.
Yep.
God, I love Eddie Kingston. Right. I love Eddie. We're on Eddie's side here.
Can't wait to meet Eddie Kingston.
Right.
This Saturday, LVAC, Still Sex Smackdown.
Yes. Come check it out. There's, I think there's still meet and greet tickets available.
I think so.
There's also a free meet and greet. So we're excited to meet Eddie. You're gonna ask him about it? You think? No.
I was gonna be like,
right. I love you.
You're a fucking real one.
Right.
Dog.
I'm gonna do
That's
the hand.
You're gonna have to try to do. I'm gonna have to teach you.
You are gonna have to teach me. Right. My hands cramp up.
That's the old in you.
I know it is. My hands feel like garbage. Trying to do that, I didn't realize how much my hands feel. I'm gonna have to do some hand exercises. Yeah, even that fucking hurts. I don't know why.
Yeah, boom, there it is.
Do this one, the Spock one. I can do that one. This guy right here.
Shooter, baby.
Oh, but the thumbs up. See, I could do it much better if I gotta curl the thumb.
Because then you just look like a Hardy Boy.
That's true. Version 1, baby.
Version 1.
Yeah, but like I could do this without hurting, but like having the thumb out, having the thumb out really like stretches my hand muscles. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm excited to meet him. Excited to get my fig signed. Yeah. Excited to see a whole bunch of other people.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Gonna try and get some mark picks. We say that all the time, and we always fucking chicken out. But I'm trying to get some mark picks. Gonna meet Eddie. Gonna be a good time. Good to see everybody. Good to see Tim and everybody.
Can't wait, dude.
Cool, fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna maybe I'll do my Parker Boudreaux impression in a live photo with Eddie.
Please don't.
But
like, what the fuck?
But yeah, and we can talk forever, and maybe we did before about all the Eddie stuff. But just chill out a little bit. Everybody take a deep breath. Hopefully everything calms down. It looks like neither of them are on the pay-per-view. Sammy had has a match on Rampage. Who knows? I think Eddie can talk somebody into a match if they need him to for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, not having Eddie on your pay-per-view, I think is bad business for you.
Right, I think so too. But we'll see what happens. I sure as hell hope, because the rumor is that only Eddie was suspended. We didn't see Sammy for a while either. The suspension's already up. I hope that Sammy doesn't get a pay-per-view match, because then it looks like you're favoring somebody a little bit.
Sure.
And even though Eddie got sort of physical and shouldn't have, it doesn't mean Sammy was in the right, and Sammy also fucked up. And I think you need to either leave them both off or put them both on not against each other, obviously, but figure that out, because you don't want to look like you're favoring one or the other.
I agree with that
for fans' sake and for their sake.
Yeah,
but that's plenty about that.
Yeah,
let's talk some other shit.
Yeah, man, wrestling that we watched this week. Real quick impact. All I watched was Speedball Mike Bailey versus Chris Bay for the X Division title. Speedball retains. Speedball's on a big run right now with that title. Yeah. So I don't know who will dethrone him.
And so Bay's still Bullet Club? Does he have anybody with him, or he's just by himself?
No, because Ace Austin's there.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that Ace is there. Good Brothers, they said contract's up in like a week, though, right?
That's what I've been told.
They're going to go back in Japan and just fucking rake in the money, right?
Well, they've already been doing Japan. They're working in New Japan in America.
Right.
So there's an upcoming match where it's Eddie, Wheeler Yuda, and Homicide against Switchblade and the Good Brothers.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Eddie Switchblade, that's not Eddie's going to wrestle in the ring with the fucking IWGP champion.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're just going to get that fat fucking paycheck and go live easy in fucking Japan.
Yeah,
Come on.
Just do it. Yeah, they're coming to the end.
Carl's never champ still, right?
Champ,
for now. But yeah, that's good for them. I like Chris Bay.
Tanahashi, man.
I like Chris Bay. Hopefully he'll be in like Super Juniors next year or something.
Yeah.
I think he's talented enough.
And then on SmackDown, they were in Montreal. Sami Zayn was treated like a god there.
Yeah.
I watched only one match, the 5-way for the Intercontinental title #1 contenders. Sheamus won it.
Okay.
So it's going to be Sheamus versus Walter / Gunther at Clash at the Castle.
Castle, yes.
Castle. For the Intercontinental title.
Okay. That's
two beefy boys just
I'm good with that.
Up. I'll watch.
I'm good with that. I think I hope like Gunther loses and Trips renames him Walter and just forgets about it all.
Sends him away for 2 weeks and comes back as Walter.
I don't want him to lose because
he
got
comes back
strap,
fat again, which that would make me real happy.
But yeah, I mean that'll be good. I got no problem with that match. It'll be fun.
And then Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
They were in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
He said Toronto. That's where we live. That's still my favorite shit ever. So Trish Stratus comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Trish, she's got it going on.
Yeah, I saw them boots. She looks good. Making a bit of a comeback and kind of. She's wrestling a match at least. I don't know. I heard full time, but I don't know if that's true.
Has a face to face with Bailey.
Yeah,
which Bailey under the radar.
Hold on, wait 1 second. Face to face.
All the faces.
Okay.
Boy, in that ring at one point you had Trish, Bianca Belair, Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We got some heavy hitters.
Let's do it. Right? The King of the Road match waiting to happen.
Bunkhouse match.
Let's do it. Bunkhouse for every. You get a bunkhouse match, and you get a bunkhouse match, and you get a bunkhouse match.
We all know my dream bunkhouse match.
Yes.
Which it needs to happen.
Right.
Yeah. It was just cool seeing Trish.
It's good seeing Trish.
Yeah.
She looks good. People still really like her.
Toronto.
She's a Hall of Famer. I think she,
It's weird she said Torontonian, and I got real confused when she said it at some point.
It's funny to think back at that, and I saw, Lita, Cardi B gave Lita a bunch of credit this week, which was weird.
Cardi B loves wrestling.
Yeah.
She loved Lita.
Loved Lita.
She said her and Edge were the sexiest couple ever.
It's weird when you think of those guys, Trish, they didn't really have a long run.
No, they didn't.
You know what I mean? They sort of were the era.
So when Trish came in, she was pure tits and ass. That was the
absolutely.
TNA tag team. That's what that Tess and Albert, tits and ass, we all knew.
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon had her barking like a fucking dog.
Right.
On national television.
Right, but her
and by the end of her run,
in that women's
they were
revolution in
good
right
matches.
And then it sort of fell out of favor for a bit, and they left, and it took a little while for it to come back. But they really, Victoria, they're really important.
Sure,
all that,
absolutely, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
There's a match. So Chad Gable and Otis came out, Alpha Academy.
Okay, they're still together. Good for them.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
It was like an open challenge, insult your sports teams, I'm the hero, blah, blah, blah. Out comes Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Kevin Owens rocking...
Well, because Trips is in charge, so Owens is going to be champ in 3 weeks.
Kevin Owens rocking like the old NXT Kevin Owens shirt.
Okay.
Wrestling like NXT Kevin Owens.
Because Trips is in charge.
Dude, hitting like an insane frog splash.
Legit, he's going to beat Roman. Like, that's Trips loves Kevin Owens.
Like, the crowd was just going ballistic here in Canada.
Right.
And they made it a point, and I thought it was smart. So Owens won.
Yeah, that's a dude who could write his check anywhere and decided not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he's
security.
getting fucking paid. Absolutely.
He's getting fucking paid.
Absolutely, and I get it. But that dude has the right to any check anywhere he wanted to write, anybody would have paid for it.
So they made it a point, because he's been a heel,
Right.
When he was walking out, they made it a point to show him slapping some kid's hands. I go, there's your turn.
Yeah, right. That's
there it is.
Right.
But dude, the match was fucking awesome.
Good.
Oh my god. I always forget how good Chad Gable is.
Yeah.
That dude was throwing suplexes.
Sorry, you mean Shorty G?
Go away.
Oh, okay.
Why did they do that to him?
Because they're dumb.
They're ready, willing, and Gable.
I like that.
And he just called the towel.
Yeah.
Oh, he was... Man, I think back that NXT era, and like Alpha or American Alpha against like DIY and fucking Authors of Pain. Like
DIY, huh?
Speaking of DIY, to like no intro or whatever. Hey guys, Johnny Gargano's back in WWE.
Were you watching when that happened?
No.
Because I was.
You were, no. I was actually, I made a late night food run to Sonic because I wanted an ocean water.
Okay.
Ocean water is delicious.
What is it, just salt water?
Have you never had an ocean water?
Nah, I've been to a Sonic like once and I got the cherry limeade.
Oh, dude, ocean water, so it's like...
Does it have a gummy shark in it?
No, they did have a Shark Week slushie though.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like Sprite with like blue coconut flavoring.
Oh. Weird.
Really good.
Yeah,
it fucking works.
All right.
But yeah, Johnny Gargano. Eh?
Yeah, Gargano's back. Gargano.
Yeah.
Gargamel.
He had like that confrontation with Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Johnny Gargano's back on the E.
I was watching this because I just put it on just because I had nothing else to go on. I was like, fuck it, I'll put it on, whatever. And he came out and like I texted you and Joe and was like, hey, look, Gargano's back. And I like Johnny just fine, and Johnny's a good wrestler. I think he looks a little small the way they light and shoot these shows.
Sure.
But that's fine. I'm not body shaming. I'm just, it's a hurdle in wrestling. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But like he's never my dude. But I'll tell you what, he's like the smartest fucking dude in wrestling. Because that dude was like, all right, peace. Give me paternity leave.
Took 9 months
all
off.
Right, I'll bail. Okay, yeah, no, I don't need a contract. You're good.
Yep.
Where am I going to go? Well, you guys can just continue to speculate about it, and I will sell 19 fucking action figures.
I'll sign with every action figure company because I'm not under contract.
Right. I will do autograph signings and seminars and rake in that money, and then I'll go get my bag back at the WWE because my boy Trips is in charge.
Without wrestling a single match.
Right. He wrestle shit. He got to spend time with his family, his newborn. I can only imagine that when she's ready, his wife isn't that far behind.
You would think.
Yep, smartest guy in wrestling.
Good for him, man.
Absolutely. Work the fucking system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the system ain't going to work for you.
No, that's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk. You can talk about things that you watched that I didn't.
Okay. Right now?
Yeah, because...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I watched Beyond Wrestling.
You did.
Because people were talking about it, and Eddie Kingston was on it. And so I caught it post-intermission, which opened up with a tag match that I caught at the end, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I'm going to talk about the last three. The match was a tag match. It had Willow in it, and it was from what I saw, it was good. I just didn't see all of it, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But the first one I saw was Beyond Wrestling American Rana.
American Rana, right?
Yes. So Mr. American Rana, Angel Ortiz.
Mr. American.
That's what they call him because he's been on all of them apparently. Angel Ortiz. It's interesting to see Ortiz with the first name.
Well, oh, dude. I didn't even fucking put that together. That's right. He used to go by Angel Ortiz.
Right. This is AEW Ortiz.
What the fuck was Santana's first name?
I have no idea. Carlos?
I know his real name's like Mike.
Yeah.
Go on.
Anyway, but so Angel Ortiz, right?
Up.
He's in like blue or black long tights with the little blue shorties over him.
Yeah.
In like a singlet top too, but like looking lean, looking
It was
good.
great.
Versus Alec Price. Alec Price is a Boston guy. I've talked about him before. He's the most Boston wrestler. He's the most Boston sounding wrestler. I like this dude a lot.
Rock hot Steve Boston.
Yes.
Again?
I think this dude's great. He beats Ortiz, which is pretty.
Really? He beats Mr. American Rock.
He does. I think Ortiz looked great, but I think Ortiz is there to. I don't think he needs to go over anybody. You put these indie guys over, especially because now he's in a super high profile position on TV. So that was good. But the match after that was the match I wanted to see the most. The reason why I tuned in on Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium, IWTV. Use code Mortis and get nothing. I guess we get to see Jerry on Saturday. Is he going to be there?
I'd hope so, because it's streaming on IWTV.
But so are like 9 other fucking shows.
Well,
I heard somebody mention
Jerry will come down.
I hope he does.
Is he home?
I have no idea.
I hope so.
I haven't talked to him in a long time. I would like to see him. I'd like to give him a hug, a big old sloppy mouth kiss, a deep soul kiss, if you will. But anyway, it's Eddie Kingston versus Slade. Have you seen Slade?
I know who Slade is.
All right.
I'm aware of Slade.
All right. So I was like, this is going to be a shit kicker. So here's the thing about Slade that's really interesting, that shocked me, because I've seen stills and shots of Slade, but I don't know if I've seen a Slade match front to back. And his entrance music, you know what his entrance music is? His entrance music would be what my entrance music would be if I was a wrestler. I think about this all the time. And it's the most perfect pro wrestling entrance music there ever was.
That song by David Lee Roth.
I'm just a gigolo?
Yeah.
Buzzy bop. Diddy bop. No. Because I ain't got nobody. Nobody cares for me. Nobody. That one. Anyway.
That's the one.
No. The coolest entrance music you could possibly have in wrestling, and Slade has it, is Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, but it starts halfway through when that bass riff kicks in.
I know the riff, yeah.
It's the best, it's the heaviest fucking riff ever written.
Yeah,
it's the coolest fucking thing. That's Slade's entrance music, and I was so jealous because that's what I would do. It's a great song, but it's not heavy and awesome until the break. And then it's just that heavy fucking bass. Oh, it's crazy. That's like the bass that launched everything about the metal for me. So that's his entrance music. So that was awesome. This match goes 4 minutes.
I heard, it's a real quick squisher.
They open up trading. It's not even a squish.
Yeah.
They trade exploders. Kingston hits a Northern Lights bomb. It's over. They just beat the shit out of each other. Short little sprint, which is, I think, nobody was expecting it, but nobody was mad about it because it's just what it is. And then Eddie gets on the mic, and he's not supposed to.
I saw the promo,
and he, but he's like, everybody wants him to, so he gets on the mic, and you gotta love indie wrestling, support indie wrestling. He's like, I'm on fucking TV now, but so don't worry, we gotta support these guys. Don't worry about me, whatever. And he puts over he has to support the indie promoters. But then he says he mentions IWTV and how great it is, but then buries Vin Gerard, which is really funny. So that was really fun, short little thing. I don't think anybody in the world was disappointed. It was a fun little beat 'em up. Yeah. The main event is Wheeler Yuta versus Timothy Thatcher.
Okay.
And so I was shocked by this because this reminded me that Timothy Thatcher was supposed to be in the N1.
He was?
Timothy Thatcher was announced for being in the N1. It is on the original N1 graphics for this year.
What happened?
Visa issues, and he had to leave. And Kenya Okada took his spot.
Okay. Now that you said that, I remember. Okay.
But Timothy Thatcher was supposed to be in the N1.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, because I reminded him, I was like, how the fuck is he here? He's supposed to be in Noah.
That's right.
And then I was like, and I looked it up, and he had visa issues, and he had to leave.
Okay.
So, this is the style of wrestling that Yuda can do, that Thatcher does,
Sure.
you know the kind of match it is. It's great in that style.
Graps, baby.
Right. Great stuff if you like that style.
Grapple.
It's not my favorite thing, but I still like this match. I really like Yuda. Thatcher is crazy.
Yeah.
Yuda wins.
Good.
Which is crazy, which
Good.
is right,
Yeah,
right?
it's the right move.
It looks like hell to wrestle in that building. It's apparently super hot. Like a bunch of wrestlers had mentioned it, and the commentary kept mentioning it. So they're just like dripping sweat. So it must be hell to wrestle in that. But everybody's up to the ring, whatever. Yuda wins. Kingston and Ortiz come out to celebrate. And Miracle Generation storm the ring, who's like Alec Price,
Okay.
Ichiban, Mass Wrestler, a couple of guys I don't know. Sorry, just my ignorance. It's whatever. And Eddie sort of takes Yuda's Ring of Honor belt and starts swinging it at them to keep them at bay.
Oh, I thought he was like going to look at it like, I want this.
No,
Oh.
he's like using that to fight the guys off.
I'm with
because
that.
Yuda just had a match, so him and Ortiz are trying to shield
Sure.
Yuda
Yeah.
from getting beat up by these guys because Alec Price wants that belt or whatever. Eddie shoves Alec Price. Yuda gets a mic, cuts a little promo. Talks about how much he likes the young guys here and how he's glad to be back and beyond, and that if he wants a match, he'll have to clear up a Thursday to come back because they do their things on Thursdays.
Yeah.
This was like a special show because this was like Sunday or Saturday
Sure.
or whatever. They all shake hands, but Price does like the hold on a little too long thing. Willow comes out to celebrate with them and sort of help him out a little bit. And Eddie tells Price that he wishes he could be him. Like, you wish you could be me. And then he says, suck my dick.
I love Eddie so much. God damn it.
And then Yuda says he said he's going to make a phone call, but he thinks that Thursday just opened up to come back and challenge or wrestle,
okay.
whatever. And then Ortiz, Yuda, Kingston, and Willow all celebrate in the ring, and they all like raise each other's hands.
That's
and
cool.
as they do it, Eddie tickles Willow in the armpit, and she like puts her arm down and like shoves him, and they all laugh because they're really close.
Yeah.
Willow needs to be signed. It's ridiculous that she's not.
Yep.
Yuda's doing great stuff. It's really cool to see these guys out on these kind of shows, elevating that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And he's right. Support the indies. Support, these
if
guys
you
need
see
your
talent
money.
like these coming like local anywhere,
Right.
go.
Right.
Just fucking go.
Right. Absolutely. Alec Price is all over the place. I keep saying Alec. I hope it's not Alex. Maybe it's Alex and I'm wrong. Whatever. That's on me. I'm an idiot.
No,
But no, I mean, I should do a better job of that, but who cares? What's you going to do? Listen to this podcast? And find me.
you never know.
But yeah, I like Alex Price a lot. I'll switch back and forth so he doesn't know. Keep him guessing. But I like Price a lot. I've seen him in a couple places, and he's retweeted me a couple because I said he's the most Boston sounding fucking wrestler I've ever heard in my life. But it was a good show. Go see some of this talent. Go support some indie people.
Absolutely.
Be cool like that. This was a cool show. It's one of those things that if I'm just sitting around and I see it's happening and enough people are tweeting about it, I cannot stress enough the power of Twitter and social media. Like, I hate wrestling Twitter. I hate the internet wrestling community. It has its uses, but overall, it's just a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Like New Japan starts gives the fucking pulls all their fucking clips and shit when people gif and tweet about it. It is such a fucking powerful tool for this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because if people weren't tweeting about how good this show was and how good it was going to be after intermission, I never would have put it on. I just don't have the time to keep track of it all.
No, me neither.
So the key is fucking watch it, tweet about it when it's good, tell people who you like, tag them, gif it, show clips, fucking talk about it because it will get eyes. It
for
absolutely will get eyes because I watch a ton of wrestling and I would not have put this on if people weren't saying how good the show was up to this point.
Yeah.
So that it's super fucking important to do that kind of stuff.
I
for
agree.
Sure.
I agree.
But that's it for Enjoy. Did I watch anything else?
No, that was it for Beyond.
For Beyond. Did I watch anything else? We watched Noah together.
Yeah.
So I do have Enjoy, which you were supposed to surprise me, but I spoiled that surprise because you watched it with me.
I did. So real quick, I will.
Yeah, you run down Enjoy for the first time ever. Go ahead.
Who's the dude? Lawless or whatever the fuck
Yes.
his name was.
All right, so
Lawless and Chill, that guy.
the Gavel David Lawless.
That's his name.
Comes out.
Yep.
Yes. Lawless is flawless.
Yeah.
Is his tagline.
He squashed some guy.
Right. So this is
like Mr. Ugg or
Mr.
some shit.
Mr. Grimm.
Mr. Grimm.
So this was from the last time
Okay.
Mr. Grimm was challenged MV Young for the title.
Listen, all right. Let me preface this.
Yeah.
I turned this on, or when I looked it up, I go, oh, it's going to be that tag team final.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it wasn't, I was like,
It's the next week.
shit.
Yeah.
But I figured, fuck it, I'll watch it anyway.
Yeah. So this was Mr. Grimm was hired by David Lawless to take out MV Young and didn't work. So this is sort of him coming out making fun of Mr. Grimm because he wasn't there and whatever. Mr. Grimm's a scary guy.
Lawless is flawless.
Lawless is flawless. My favorite thing about him is that he comes out to the Law and Order theme because he has runs the judge gimmick.
That's pretty good.
I like that. Sometimes he wears like pink and black, like Bret Hart-ish tights, but with a gavel on it instead of stars, which is funny. But yeah, Lawless is. I like this segment. Lawless isn't great in the ring or whatever, but I like this segment.
I don't know because it was like just
it was just a little squish.
I'm not sure.
But I like this segment. I thought he was entertaining enough, especially when you think of it in regards of an indie show. Guys like him, usually you don't see a lot of personality out of a lot of guys, and Enjoy kind of focuses on that sometimes.
Which is good. I do like Enjoy for that reason.
Yes.
Main event though. For the Enjoy title, right?
Yes.
MV Young versus Lee Moriarty versus Trish Adora.
MV Young has been the champion for a long time.
MV Young has a terrible chest tattoo.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
Is it like...
I think it's like two eagles
like
or
cherry
something.
blossoms or
maybe.
something?
It could
I'm not
be.
sure.
I don't know. I've never been close enough to tell.
It's still not the worst wrestling tattoo I've ever seen.
No. It's not on his back. They run an MV Young like title defense highlight reel beforehand, which made me think he was going to finally lose because he's been champ for a long time. And I was also shocked at this because I was like, the David Lawless thing went on a long time. You're only giving this 14 minutes for a three-way title match. Yeah. Lee Moriarty, Trish Adora, two people I like a lot.
Sure.
Trish is going to be a fucking superstar. Lee Moriarty too, but he's signed, so he'll be okay. First fall wins, given this less than 15 minutes. I thought this was good, but better when MV was out of the ring.
Yes.
I don't want to disparage anybody.
It is what it is,
indie
man.
talents.
It fucking is what it is.
I don't think MV's awful. He's just not my favorite dude, especially not in a match with Moriarty and Adora, who I think those two can literally do anything you ask of them.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why the finish was MV sort of ambushes with the knee and gets the quick pin. But MV has his place. He's clearly loved there. He's the king of Pittsburgh. He's really, really loved.
The king of the Polyam cult.
Right.
See?
Right.
I pick up on things.
Yes. But I love Trish Adora. I really had hoped that she would have won the title, but MV's locked in, and the crowd loves him there.
Yeah.
So, but I like this. But again, it was much better when it was Lee Moriarty and Trish Adora just having fun and reversing everybody's everything.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
But yeah, and that was it. Next week they'll aired tonight.
Yeah. Already,
we saw spoilers, but we won't talk about it. But it's good news. Is the main event, one match, 4 tag teams in the finals for the Enjoy Cup Tag Team edition, and it's elimination style.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this.
It's the ephemeral babes of Willow, Nightingale, and Edith Surreal versus the production of Derek Dillinger and Ziggy Haim versus Violence is Forever of Kevin Koo and Dominic Guarini and The Runway, who are two guys whose names I don't know.
This is The Runway.
One of them
had a glittery beard.
Yes, they're very glittery and the model gimmicks. Glittery. And yeah, they.
I don't think you're enjoying 2022 is going to happen this year.
December. December in Pittsburgh is tough.
December in Pennsylvania is very tough.
That stinks.
Traveling anywhere is very.
I was
weird.
hoping they were gonna be running in like November or October.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this.
Kind of surprised they're not.
I didn't expect a 4-month off, but this
happened in July, right? This event, that they're showing now.
Yeah. So December, they run out of Mr. Smalls, which is a pretty big concert venue there. I don't want to completely rule it out, but most likely not going to happen, sadly.
That's okay.
Because December in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh is a bit much, but we'll see.
Brutal.
I'll reassess in November, but we'll see.
As it gets closer, we'll
see.
talk. We'll talk
We'll see.
Pal.
Yeah.
So, all right. Something I watched that you didn't.
Ooh.
I watched the main event from the other day's GLEAT event.
Oh, you and Ed Cody.
Yeah.
Being GLEAT boys.
I
I didn't know there was a GLEAT event, or I would have watched it.
I only watched one match.
Was it El Lindeman? Was El Lindemania running wild?
El Lindeman was running wild.
All right.
Him defending his title against Dookie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dookie's been working.
Oh, okay. All right.
Fucking
yeah. Well, why
GLEAT.
not? He had that good showing in the juniors tournament and go over there while he's not happening
exactly.
with a G1.
Yeah, nothing
But
happened there.
Lindeman,
Yeah.
all the Lindeman maniacs are running wild.
Dude, this match was fucking good.
Yeah.
When Dokie tries, he's
Yeah.
passable.
Sure.
El Lindeman's the fucking
Yeah.
man,
Lindeman
bro.
rules. That's
Dude,
we're Lindeman maniacs.
He has such a connection with this crowd in GLEAT,
Yeah.
and he busted out one of the sickest German suplexes I've ever seen.
Nice. He does that great German on like his tiptoes.
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch
Lindeman's
it, I'd say
awesome.
go back. It's
All
free
right.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Their shows are all free YouTube
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
I didn't watch anything else. I just wanted to watch this because
Okay.
El
I know
Lindeman's
Ed
awesome.
from Pod Van Dam had said like this is his thing now, and like really, it's good he's giving heat up. But he said like the whole card was like really good.
Yeah.
But we're Lindeman maniacs.
I don't know if I'll like ever,
Yeah.
fully invest just
A lot of
because I
time.
just don't have time.
Right.
But
But you pick-
El Lindeman's fucking awesome.
This is my
so
advice
I
to a lot of
I can get
people.
down with El Lindeman.
For a lot of the wrestling, there's a lot going on for that sort of stuff, for the Japanese wrestling, for indie wrestling, whatever it happens to be. You don't have the time to consume whole shows. Pick a couple guys you like and follow them, and that's all you need to do.
That's why when I saw the matchup, I go, I don't think so. Then I read a few things and I go, okay, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I
Nice.
enjoyed it.
Good.
Another thing that I watched
Ooh,
a couple
boy.
matches from DDT's event.
I thought about it because of the main the title like was going on.
Yes. So DDT Wrestle Peter Pan 2022.
Yes. Right.
I watched 3 matches. I'm not going to go full blown with
This
them.
wasn't the one where Takeshita wrestled Onita in the
No, but
match,
Takeshita wasn't a 6-man that I didn't
Okay.
watch because I just didn't have time. The tag team of Eruption, which was Hideki Okatani and Yukio Sakaguchi,
Okay.
teaming up with Mr. DDT, Harashima,
Okay.
versus Kaisuke Okuda, Kota Umeda, and Naomi Yoshimura.
Okay.
Kaisuke Okuda has the nickname of Mr. Danger Zone,
Okay.
which fucking rocks.
Yeah.
At one point in the match, he got in the ring, and he's like a striker kind of hybrid, and he fucking hits a right cross, and I thought he put the dude's lights out.
Nice.
Don't remember whose lights it were.
Okay.
Thought he went out.
Yeah.
He sold it like he got dropped unconscious. But it was a fun little sprint. It was like 11 minutes.
Okay.
Fun 6-man tag.
Was any
Never
of these
stopped.
matches the one where the guy dropped his pants and slowly tiptoed backwards into the guy's face?
No, so I watched the end of that.
Okay.
I caught the end. I caught the post-match promo. What was that? Oh, it was Bugs looking at my foot.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
Bugs.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come here,
It
Bugs.
was awkward. Bugs, I love you, but that fucking creeped me out. Threw me off there. No, I watched the end of that whole situation.
Yeah.
There was like a whole stable just wearing jock straps with their whole asses hanging out. That's DDT.
Okay.
Another match that I did watch just because I saw some names that I know and I figured, okay, let's give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Asuka, aka Venny,
Okay, Venny, yeah.
teaming up with Chris.
Venny was just in the States a couple weeks ago.
It sure was.
Okay. Did something happen?
That whole transcript shit.
I don't see.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What a fiasco.
Oh, was that the one where the girl didn't pay anybody and then pretended to be the social media manager and then
like,
pretended to be her own mom or whatever?
Yeah, and then was like tweeting about how Venny was staying at her house and talking about like, oh my gosh, she's so hot while she sleeps and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I don't follow any of that shit.
Nope.
But I saw like the line about who you are and all.
Yeah.
Okay, that
But
sucks.
it
Poor
was
Venny.
Venny / Asuka, however you want to call her. And Chris Brooks
Okay.
teaming up against Saki Akai, which I've seen her. She's been an Ice Ribbon before.
Mm-hmm.
And Jun Akiyama.
Okay.
Jun Akiyama's first ever mixed tag match.
First ever.
First ever match in a ring with a woman.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll give it a whirl. Let's see what
Okay.
the fuck this is about.
Uh-huh.
Jun Akiyama played nice for a bit.
Yeah.
And then he fucking
then he went
kneed the living shit out of Venny.
Went the Minoru Suzuki route
kinda did.
against other Asuka.
And it got a little uncomfortable at
Okay.
times. But Jun Akiyama and Saki Akai won.
Okay.
At the end, Akiyama tried like shaking Asuka / Venny's hand,
Mm-hmm.
and she just like blew him off. I was like, "Fuck you."
Okay.
And then the last match I watched was for the KOD Openweight title, which is the champion Kazuchika Higuchi against the challenger Tetsuya Endo. Tetsuya Endo beat Takeshita for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Tetsuya Endo then proceeded to get knocked the fuck out by Nakajima.
Yeah.
So this is him challenging back for the belt, which he did not win.
Oh.
So Higuchi keeps the belt. If you look at Higuchi, he's a classically handsome man.
Yeah, we discussed him a couple weeks ago. He looks like
was a bit of a
Kensuke
high-waisted
Sasaki.
trouser.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know. He looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a guy that Marcus from Final Wrestling Place would also enjoy.
Yeah.
Man, they were running some like head dumps on Endo to like push over the concussion shit when he was really knocked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, please don't die. Like,
right.
Please don't. They even do the thing where Higuchi hits him with like the Nakajima smack across the face.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I was like, oh no. But this match was real good.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not like fully up on DDT.
Sure.
Shout out to the homeboy Craig for kind of talking me through some shit.
Yeah.
You know, when I see some stuff that pops up, I'll watch, but it's just not like a regular thing for me.
Yeah, sure. There's so much wrestling.
There's a lot of wrestling. So.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about AEW or do you want to talk about Noah?
Let's end with the end one. So let's talk AEW.
All right. So Rampage.
Yes.
It's announced. Well, there's a
Rampage.
promo, but next Friday, aka this Friday, Claudio versus Dustin Rhodes for the Ring of Honor World Title.
Yeah, I can't be more happy. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Eventually, if you listen to the show ever, you know my opinion on Dustin. I love him so very much, and I think him and Claudio are gonna have a fucking banger.
Yeah, I agree.
They really are.
It's gonna be great.
I like that they're letting Dustin do this kind of stuff and just let him have a couple of dream matches here or there. I like that Claudio was like, you should have been a champion and you never were. Dustin is like one of the most underutilized wrestlers ever, I think. He always plays the role he was given, and was Goldust the character that could win your world title? Probably not. No. But is he good enough to, and has the ability to connect to an audience? He made Goldust fucking work way better than anybody else ever would have. So
I would have strapped up the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Right. I'm very excited for that match.
Calling the natural. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Then you had a tag title match, Swerve in Our Glory versus Private Party.
Yeah.
It was okay.
That Private Party looked like garbage, man.
I thought it was just okay.
Private Party, again, they're such a weird anomaly. They had all this hype. They, again, right in the beginning, they beat the Bucks, and nobody ever did anything with them. And, I don't know what it is, but I thought they looked sloppy. They got
stuck as Matt Hardy seconds.
Yeah.
Now they're Andrade seconds.
Right. I like that Swerve and Lee had matching gear, finally, for this. And I think, just Private Party, did a bunch of stuff and looked like trash, and then the rest of the match was just Keith Lee embarrassing them. It's a very weird thing.
It was weird.
And also this was the Swerve in Our Glory's first title defense. Yep. That is weird.
Yeah, they wanted the pay-per-views, and I don't think they've had
they
title
haven't had
since.
Yeah, right. Because they were doing the promos and singles, and we're gonna still be a team.
They had the handicap match against Markey and
right.
Nice and Woods or whatever.
Super weird, but what it is, I guess. QT Marshall plays poker backstage.
It sure does.
Yep. That's
it.
I think Dynamite officially drops this part of this story. Thankfully,
they have to
because it's Hobbs hired them to take out Starks, and what do you no?
Yeah, it's why would he do that?
Why? Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, real dumb.
Then you got Hook versus the Jersey Shore guy.
Why let that guy talk that much?
The reality, Zach Clayton, man.
Yeah. Why?
That's 24 from Jersey Shore.
Yeah, good for you. 20. They call his name 24.
His nickname was 24 because he started dating JWoww on the show when he was only 24 years old.
Okay, so
and she's a lot older than him.
Is she? They're the Jersey Shore people are that old?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't fucking know. I've never seen an episode of Jersey
Dude,
Shore.
you have to think that show was on how many fucking years ago?
I don't know. When was Snooki on WrestleMania?
A long fucking time ago. Yeah,
well, whatever. Yeah, I don't know why you let that guy talk as much as you did.
Yeah,
and he just gets fucking squished because who gives a shit?
Gets the old squish and then
right.
2.0.
Didn't we see him live? Wasn't he in Philly that one?
He was there? Because I sent a picture to.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't put a title on it.
Sure.
And she was like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, she's like, why? Why is this happening?
Okay.
And I actually showed her this match, and she goes, I'm so happy he lost that fast.
Yeah.
I said, damn right.
Good.
And then, 2.0 kind of cuts a little program.
And they challenge Hook?
Yeah, because looks like Hook might want a little taste.
He might want a little taste.
So,
what's it? Martel also came out, and what's his name now? I don't know. It's not Martel.
Daddy Magic.
Daddy
Big
Magic
Daddy
tweeted, I told you already Kingston was a bitch.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Then you had, we had the standby match.
Right. You had Billy Gunn promo calling his own kid the Ass Boys.
Yes.
And he sets up the father versus son match.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Buddy Matthews versus Serpentico in a squasher.
Which is just a death kill.
Right.
Miro comes out and beats up Buddy Matthews afterwards. So there's that.
Right. And he has Malachi's mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you have Athena against Penelope Ford.
Which is basically a squash.
Yeah. Basically a squash.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, man. I like Athena in the ring.
Yeah.
I think she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But you're against Penelope Ford, so.
Yeah.
And then Jade and Stokely come out with the sledgehammer.
Right. Jade as Triple H.
Jade wicks the sledgehammer.
She certainly did.
And then they beat up. Did they beat down Athena in the ring?
Yeah.
Because then Stokely has this sledgehammer just screaming at the sky. That made me happy.
Yeah.
Next, actually, main event.
Yep.
Best Friends.
Yeah.
Versus Trustbusters.
So my favorite thing about this again is that Mark Henry says "It's time," and OC says, "That's my line, though."
Yeah.
And so that's
OC's the best. Who will also be at the LVAC Steel Stack SmackDown this upcoming Saturday.
Before I get to my favorite part of this match, I just really quick want to bring this. So the fucking Best Friends win to advance in the Trios tournament.
Hitting the anthill.
Right. Awesome. Good for them.
Yeah, good.
JR in this match brings up Bill Watts, a shocker to no one.
Sure did.
Right? And then compares Parker Boudreaux to Dr. Death. Because of course he did. JR is just running his brain can only hit the hits.
He's losing his fucking mind.
He really is. But what a disaster. Bill Watts would really like that guy, you kid. He's just like Dr. Death.
Ugh.
But what's my favorite part of this match, Brett?
So Porker
Boudreaux. Yes, Porker Boudreaux.
Hits the only fucking move he actually knows how to hit.
The thump.
The running body attack.
Yeah, right. Yes.
And so he hits one.
Yeah, just a running bee in No Mercy.
Hits one, he hits two. He runs down and to hit, I don't know who's standing on the apron at this point.
It was Chucky.
And he hits Chucky, and this dope motherfucker flipped himself over the top rope.
He's lucky he landed on his feet because he would have been let go immediately if he fell over too.
Dude, I don't see it.
He's a mistake.
I don't get it.
I will say this forever. He's a mistake.
Get it?
They're going to put too much in on him, and it's going to be a fucking mistake.
Tony Khan came out because people were tweeting out, they're like, what the fuck are you wasting your television time on the Trustbusters for?
Right.
And Tony Khan was like, oh, people said the same thing about when I was with Daniel Garcia and 2.0.
No, they didn't.
They go, no, you didn't. People knew those guys were all fucking talented.
Right. And I'll say that Slim J looked good in this match.
Yeah.
Slim J is cool as shit.
I did enjoy the part where it was like the camera cut of Danhausen cursing him. Mm-hmm. Slim J's like, what the fuck? And they're going back to Danhausen, he just shrugs and goes, I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
That was funny.
Yeah, Parker Boudreaux is going to be a mistake. So he hits the body attack and sends himself over the ropes, so he lands on his feet, right? And now he's outside the ring, and he's a little shocked at what just happened because he jumped a little too high, and Chucky, he just carried himself over because he's too amped up. He doesn't know how to slow it down. He only has one fucking wrestling move. He was trained in WWE for how long? He only do one fucking move.
That's it, and he can't even do it.
And he can't even do it right. And so he comes very close to shit canning himself. He lands on his feet. He's a little shocked that he does it. But he realizes that he's in front of the crowd. So he looks at the front row of people who are laughing and or cheering him. And he goes, and he does his fucking taunt that he does. That And I just
fucking
right. It's so stupid. It doesn't look tough. He doesn't look big. He's not good in the fucking ring. He just does stuff poorly and then has a convulsion.
I don't know if you watched this Friday night or Saturday, whenever you watched this.
Yeah.
And you texted me, and I was just like, dude, all I pictured the whole time was you fucking doing his song.
That's what he does. It's the worst, man. Like, I don't, it really, like, and I get, okay, you want to give people a look and whatever.
Oh my God,
you put them in this tournament, and I know somebody has to lose in the first round, and you don't want to put good teams in there. But Parker Boudreaux is a Boudreaux, Boudreaux, I don't know. Voodoo. Parker Boudreaux. He's a mistake.
He's not.
There's no way around it. He's a mistake. And it sucks that he was supposed to be the star, and Paulie propped him up, and WWE was teasing him as this big old monster.
Man,
he's not going to be. Not everybody fucking gets it.
Sure ain't.
And he's not going to be able to go on the indies. Like, it's not his nature. It's not where he is. Like, all that. He's trained in the WWE fucking Performance Center. Apparently only do one fucking move. He is a mistake, and they cannot waste any more time on TV with him. They absolutely cannot. You cannot. This Rampage was shit.
It was real bad.
Again, you are booking Rampage like nobody's watching it, so nobody is going to watch it.
Nobody's going to watch it.
This is Rampage.
You know how I said I think it was the Rampage before I said might have been the worst one ever? Yeah. This might have been the worst.
It's a good Claudio promo
to
what is essentially a swervingly squash. To a QT Marshall poker game.
Yep.
Into a squash. Into two promos. Into a squash.
So, honestly,
more promos. Into a squash.
I look at it this way. You are structuring it out right now. They are treating this like WWF Superstars.
Right.
This is what WWF Superstars used to be.
Right.
And the main event was the competitive match.
Yeah. Right.
This is WWF Superstars.
That's fine. How'd that go?
I used to love watching Superstars.
Right. But I think the difference is that they're also not booking, like,
they're not booking anything on it to make you want to watch.
Right.
Them.
And they're not, right. And we're not attached to these characters and these stars.
No.
So, like, it's not like you go turn on Superstars and you're going to watch fucking Hogan or Macho or somebody beat somebody. You're watching fucking Athena. You're watching Buddy Matthews squash Serpentico. Yeah. It's just not, it's just not right. And, like, you're not revamping any, like, recapping anything. You're not, it's just, it fucking sucks. It's not a good show.
I used to like watching it too.
Me too.
Man. They've had some good matches in the past, but
Tony Khan is like just forgiven this thing completely.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I like OC. That's always the best. Like best friends, I love them, so that's always fun. But like, yeah, when you have them in the ring with Parker Boudreaux,
terrible.
So all right, AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite time.
We kick it off with Jericho wanting his apology from Daniel Garcia.
Yes.
Garcia coming out with the Buffalo Kid shirt. I like that. Mm-hmm. Danielson coming out, kind of not egging on Garcia, just being like, you can be whatever you want to be.
Right. You don't have to listen. Right.
We know what you want.
We know you're a wrestler. I'm shocked that they're doing this early because we all knew that Garcia doesn't fit in that group.
Yeah.
But I'm shocked that they're sort of like pulling the trigger on this already.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have where it's probably going to go, but I'm all right. Here we go. Before we really get into the meat in this episode, for there's a lot of shit happening in this company right now. I'm just going to sit back and watch.
Right.
I'm not going to.
Yes.
I just want to.
That's the key.
Again. We'll talk later where I sat there fucking booking something 40 different ways last night, but I just want to sit back and watch and see where this goes.
Right.
I think that Daniel Garcia's money.
Yeah.
I think he's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He can go. He can talk, which a lot of people say, oh, he can't talk bullshit.
Right.
He was the most compelling part of that segment last night.
For sure. It was a great promo.
And then it ends up making it official. Danielson versus Jericho at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to get bullshit Jake Hager involved by which nobody needs Jake Hager involved in anything.
No,
I get it, but I don't want it.
When he came out, I was like, oh yeah.
He fucking leveled Danielson from behind.
Yeah,
too.
he did. But I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
The
Great. Yeah, let's hurt him.
The
right?
big hurt is here. Hold on.
Hey,
Where'd that come from?
You're back. I still like how you made the mouth noise without taking the drink. That's fun. So
don't be giving up the behind the scenes information, you fucking stooge.
I'm not Terry Taylor, sir.
So before we move on from this, there is a very important thing that I wanted to touch on that I've been thinking about for the last 3 fucking days regarding AEW. And you said that you'd book something for 40 different ways, and the key is to just sit back and watch. And we talked about this, and I've talked about it with Joe, and I've mentioned it on the show before. I think it's a really important point, and I could spend most of the show talking about this, so I'm going to try and just keep it brief, and I probably won't, so forgive me. But I think that's a super important point, and I'm glad you said it, because too many people spend too much time trying to involve themselves on stuff they can never affect.
I agree.
Your job as a wrestling fan, our job as a wrestling fan, is to watch the show that we are given, good or bad. I've probably in my life watched more bad wrestling than I have good wrestling.
Sure.
Not everything is going to be great. Not everybody in it. It's touched on the Kingston stuff we talked about earlier. Like, my favorite guy isn't always going to get everything that I want him to get. My favorite guy might not even be on TV all the time. Whatever it happens to be. If you get lucky, your favorite guy gets a good run, and that's what it is. But there's too much. I think wrestling, the internet, maybe a controversial statement. I'll go back and say it, but television ruined pro wrestling. Like national television ruined pro wrestling.
Yeah,
I know I'm being facetious saying that, but the more you expose wrestling, the harder it gets to keep wrestling viable. Sure. And I think, and I've said this on the show a bunch of times before, that 20 plus years with WWE or 20 years, whatever it was, with WWE as the only real wrestling thing, no competition on TV, has hurt wrestling in crazy ways.
No doubt.
They have trained wrestling fans to watch a show that in no way tries to be real. We all know wrestling isn't real. Kids probably still don't. I know, there's a lot of people, you see kids at shows and like that, Tom Green, Noli, like all that sort of stuff. Like the magic is still there for wrestling for them. But like, we are all smart marks. If you're an adult, you're a smart mark to varying degrees. And I think that interferes with your ability to like wrestling. And to watch a wrestling show like AEW and see them not actively tell you how fake it is hard for people, because people have spent 20 years watching a company that told you every opportunity that it was fake.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I said last week, where everybody wants to be in on everything, right, and everybody wants to be right about everything, and it is hard because AEW, yeah, sure, do they cater to the smart crowd or whatever you want to say? Yeah. Of course, absolutely.
Right, you can't.
So when things happen where, well, I think I know how this is going to happen, and if it doesn't go my way, then I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, just because something doesn't go your way doesn't mean it's not good.
Right. And we'll be talking about this very specifically in a match coming up.
We sure will.
But like, it's very hard. People forgot how to watch wrestling. Like, WWE really worked hard to get around licensing and whatever else they needed to. When they had a meeting and whoever's idea it was or whoever came up with it, they were like, well, the easiest way around it is just tell everybody we're bullshit. Yeah. And like, we knew it was bullshit. But lifting
Vince's original fucking like Attitude Era program,
right?
It's a bit passe,
right? Like it hurts wrestling, and I think the last 20 years has trained wrestling fans to watch WWE and expect that to be what wrestling is. And you make fun of Tony Khan; he's a money mark, he's this and that. He's trying, at least to me, to book a style of wrestling that is 30 years or more old.
Sure.
Right? And I think it's a shock to a lot of people's system, and they have a hard time following that because he doesn't turn around when something goes wrong or when something goes right or when somebody has beef backstage. He doesn't come out and say, hey guys, we're just making it all up. He doesn't address it. And people have this urge from WWE to want to know. Vince's limo blew up in Wilkes-Barre. What happened? I gotta know. And then you also, and I get the urge to wanna be a booker.
It'll always be there.
Fantasy book and do all that kind of stuff. I get that urge. I love wrestling. I think about wrestling all the time.
Sure.
When we talk about wrestling here, well, I think this can go here and this should go here and this, and I'd give Eddie the title, whatever. Like, I understand that all of that's not going to work, and it's fun to a degree to sort of guess.
Yeah.
But you have to leave it at that. And you just have to watch the show you're given and understand, like you just said, even if it's not what you thought or what you wanted to happen, doesn't mean it's not good. It's a specific kind of story they're trying to tell. And this happens across all media. When people watch movies now, they bitch and moan because it didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. And that makes it a bad movie to them. So, like, people are just, and I think it's just the sort of ingrained in our nature now with social media, and we have access to celebrities and the news and each other 24/7 that you're involved in everybody's business all the time, and it leads to a thrill. And we're smart wrestling fans. We know how the business works. We've seen a lot of things. We've seen a ton of wrestling, and conceivably you can assume that you've seen every possible way wrestling could possibly go, and it's not really true. Wrestling can go a lot of ways. Is wrestling easy when you let it? Absolutely. But wrestling should keep you guessing, like anything, should keep you guessing. And that's what Tony Khan and AEW is trying to do. So to go back to your original statement there, I beg you, wrestling fans, and I'm asking myself too, and I'm not saying don't speculate, I'm not saying don't be involved in that way, but don't make it your core wrestling fanaticism being, I'm booking this the way it should be booked, and when it doesn't go that way, it's bad. Watch the show, enjoy the ride, let wrestling surprise you every now and then, and see where it goes. And maybe it'll piss you off, but there's got to be something on these shows for you to watch. I saw a lot of people this week, and again, we'll talk about this in a bit, a lot of people saying, oh, I'm not watching AEW anymore. Yeah. Or I only tuned in for this one thing, and they blew it, so why would I go back?
Yep.
And we'll talk about the comparisons when that match happens because they are fucking mind-blowing. But I think people are too close to their media and think they can involve themselves in it and somehow they become a part of it. And that's just not what it is. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of it. And I've liked some wrestlers in my day who thankfully have had great runs. I was a massive DDP fan, and like that dude you don't get a better run as a wrestler than that guy got. Sure, and it was a thrill to fucking watch a guy who had probably no right when he first started, absolutely no right when he was just a manager or whatever, but like training old in the power plant, coming in and becoming the star that he became. Nobody saw that fucking coming. And to live that was an amazing thing. Yeah. And I get the urge to want to feel that again, so you try to manifest that out of everybody you like. But you just got to sit back and watch the show for what it is. Enjoy the ride while it's happening. I'm not saying you can't change the channel or you don't have to watch every fucking segment.
You don't need to like everything.
Right. You don't have to like everything. We don't like everything. No. And I say, and like I also, when I watch this stuff, I'm trying, oh man, am I an AEW apologist? Do I love everything they do? No, I love a lot of what they do. Yeah. I love a lot of what they do reminds me of wrestling that I really love. Yep. But then they also have a QT Marshall poker segment and fucking Parker Boudreaux. But like, just enjoy the ride. Please watch the show. Stop involving, and dirt sheets are a fucking problem. Sure. And rumor mills are a problem.
And we're all fucking guilty.
And we're all, I am absolutely
guilty.
Right. And this is as much a reminder for myself as it is for everybody else to disconnect a little. Sit back.
See, that's exactly where I was last week. Where like
watch wrestling.
When all the shit was happening, with all the rumors and shit coming out, I was like, I gotta just put my phone down because I'm like, I'm starting to fucking not like this. Right. And like, I'm trying to put myself back to that, like, dude, just fucking watch this for what it is, and like stop trying to be fucking in on every no,
support
like,
the people you like.
Chill out a little bit.
And it's super interesting. And I said in the beginning, TV ruined wrestling, and it's funny. I can make a case for it, but I'm being facetious. But like the further wrestling got exposed, the more it really did hurt. So then when you see a guy like CM Punk to a degree, like Eddie Kingston, like Mox, who idolize and want to try and return it back to an era where you don't know everything.
Students of the old school.
Right, where you're not told everything immediately. Your stuff isn't given away. They don't have a follow-up show where the guys from The Biggest Angle come on to talk about how they worked out the character and the promos back and forth. People have a hard time processing that kind of wrestler because they haven't seen that kind of wrestler on TV in a really fucking long time. And will AEW change that landscape? I don't know. I think that's a style of wrestling that people may not ever like, and I don't know that I don't think WWE will ever sort of shift to that. I think they have their set and their fans like that, and they like to lean into that for the advantages it has, but it also has massive disadvantages. Same thing with AEW. There is fans of that style, they're going to love that style, and that style has advantages, and it has huge disadvantages too. So I can't even say there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. It's personal preference. But just watch wrestling. Don't worry. And again, I'm guilty of it too. It's going to be out there. The dirt sheets are going to happen. All these fucking dirt sheet dudes fucking lie. Look at the evolution, and it's all news. It's all media because it always happens. But the headlines come out, and then you don't read an article till 3 days afterwards when they get the update of the real story. Because if you look at this Eddie Sammy shit that we talked about earlier, like they were dead fucking wrong until like hours and hours later when they finally got like a right update. They just make shit up. And there's some sites.
It went from an argument to Eddie knocked Sammy out cold.
Right, exactly. Like, it was wild because they speculate to get the clicks.
And dude, say what the fuck you want about Punk. Listen, I get it.
Right.
Like I get the type of guy he is. Whatever. He did that article with Sports Illustrated. Like he said, he goes, "Don't fucking DM Dave Meltzer if you want to talk about something.
Right.
Come talk to me." He's like, "I'm an adult.
Yeah,
we can talk." He goes, "It's not macho tough guy bullshit.
Right.
Talk to me." He goes,
Absolutely.
"If there's a fucking issue, don't go run into the sheets."
Right. And
it's all it is. Like, and hey, has Punk ran into the sheets before? I'm sure he has.
Absolutely,
of course.
And there's always going to be those people.
It'll always happen, man.
Right. There's always stooges backstage.
Absolutely.
There's your dirt sheets are going to get their information from people. It's always going to happen. But wrestling could be a lot less frustrating if you just back off a little bit and watch the program.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And I think that's super important. And I'm glad you said it at the beginning here. And I will leave it at that until about 10 minutes from now when we talk about that fucking match.
Sure will.
But it's super important to me to, watch wrestling and try to wrap your head around what Tony Khan is trying to, I don't even know, this is me speculating, I think is trying to do, at least the wrestlers in this company are trying to do, is deliver you a different kind of product that you may not be used to. If you're 25 to 35, you're an exception to that rule because you're a younger guy. You were young when you got into wrestling.
I'm a young guy with an old soul.
But like, if you're that age, WWE's your only guy.
Yeah.
So you were trained to expect wrestling to be a certain way, and Tony Khan is trying to present it in a way it was before, and it could be jarring, and I get that. Doesn't mean it's bad.
That's a fact.
So
right. Yes, we'll move to the first match.
Okay.
Dax Harwood.
Yes.
Versus Jay Lethal.
Right. We're going to have a differing opinion on this match, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I expected this to be like a nothing match. I really did.
No?
These dudes laced the fuck out of each other with chops.
Okay.
And I thought it was sick.
Lethal took an incredible Liger bomb.
He did.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Listen, Lethal's never going to be my favorite guy.
Yeah.
Dax is scarily getting to the point of like doesn't need hair FTR.
Dax had to slow down a little bit for Lethal in this match, and that's my biggest problem with it. Is that he had to slow down half a step for Lethal to keep up, which is a crazy statement to make.
I enjoyed the shit out of it though, man. I really liked it. Dax, I thought he looked fucking great.
Yeah.
Got the win over Jay Lethal.
Right.
Sanjay Dutt comes out afterwards, says, "Oh, you thought it was going to be me?"
No, Lethal won.
Oh, did Lethal? Oh,
Lethal
won.
Lethal cheated.
Lethal won,
so
that's right.
AEW did the thing that I always complain about they don't do, where they cheat to win and it costs the match.
Yeah, he did win. My fault.
And I like it because, and like I didn't want Lethal to win, because again, not my guy. Dax is great. He had to slow down a little bit, but I like that the cheating mattered.
And I like that the singles guy beat the tag special.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's my biggest thing, is that Dax has been doing great singles work. but he's still, at least at this point, a tag team specialist.
Yep.
And he should not be winning singles matches,
Should not.
especially against a guy who is perceived to be
as the singles
as an accomplished, and Jay Lethal's a very accomplished singles guy. I don't want to take anything away from Jay
of
Lethal.
course not.
He's just not the Jay Lethal of a few years ago, even. And I would rather him not on my TV for this kind of stuff. But I do like that he cheats to win and the tag guy loses. That it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Now, when you were saying though the differing opinion on the match, did you not like this?
I thought you were gonna really like it, and I was just gonna say it was okay.
Oh. No, I mean, like, I thought it was, I did think it was, like, better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
I love them chopping each other.
Yeah.
It was
and Dax is definitely the better guy here.
Yeah.
I just noticeably to me, I was like, ooh, Lethal's sort of dragging us down a little bit.
Well, then, like, afterwards, again, Sanjay Dutt comes out and he says to Dax, oh, you thought it was going to be me and Satnam at the pay-per-view against you two and Wardlow.
I appreciate Sanjay's managerial work.
Sanjay's been good.
Yeah.
I like Sanjay. He says, nope, but we got two friends that are going to be
thank God it's
up
not Santam singing.
with Jay.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking Motor City Machine Guns, and it's so cool.
If somebody backstage can just get a little too hot at Jay Lethal and get him to smack you around so he gets suspended so we could just get the Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR.
Holy shit, could you imagine
that's
that?
about all I want in the world.
Oof. But you know what, dude? Good for Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, awesome.
They deserve it.
TK, listen, we do this every now and then on the show. I know you're listening. Listen, pal, buddy. People can accuse me of being an AEW apologist. I'm not going to confirm or deny that. But I will become an AEW apologist if the Motor City Machine Guns get a contract at that pay-per-view.
Absolutely. Sign them, please.
Alex Shelley is the dude.
I hope they're only on handshake deals with Impact right now.
Alex Shelley is the dude.
Yeah.
Chris Sabin is also very good, but I will even become an apologist full blown if you just sign Alex Shelley. Absolutely. I like Chris Sabin, but Alex Shelley's the fucking man. And he came out this week, right before this Dynamite, and said, like, 1 year ago today, I decided to come back to pro wrestling, and it's been the best year of my life.
Yeah.
And Alex Shelley was always and continues to be. He might be better now than he was before he left.
I fucking waxed poetic over Alex Shelley last week.
He is fantastic. He is a credit to your television whenever he shows up. And I honestly, sincerely hope that they are able to get signed to AEW.
Damn, I'm like hoping, wishing, praying.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So the next is the Thunder Rosa announcement.
Yes. So I got into a fight with Michelle today. No, not really a fight. We rarely fight. Because she was still watching AEW with me at this point.
Oh, boy.
And Rosa came on TV and she's like, what's wrong? Because she's crying. Because Rosa's crying, right? And I'm like, oh, she's dead. And I didn't know anything was going on. Like I wasn't following up any of this shit.
Me neither.
And I was like, oh, she's hurt. I know she's been working hurt. She got hurt, and I could see it in her face, like the tears. You know what's coming. You know why this is coming. She's crying. She's choked. She's actually crying. And like, I got in the fight with Michelle today because she will not admit that she was actually interested in wrestling for a period here. But she absolutely was.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I said, you liked wrestling a little bit last night. She's like, no, I didn't. And I was like, you were interested in wrestling. Like, it captivated you, whether you liked it or not. It was compelling enough TV for you to be worried about someone on TV in a wrestling angle. Yep. You liked wrestling for a little bit. And she got real mad at me. So I will never say that to her again.
Because she knows you're right.
Because she knows I'm right. I will never say that in person because she'll beat me. Send help. But yeah. So Rosa's crying. She says she's relinquishing the belt, but then says she's interim champion, or there's going to be an interim champion.
They got to work this shit out with these promos happen.
Rosa a little confused. Rosa, English not her first language. I think she speaks it really well and does good on promos. But I think she may be a little confused. Who knows what they're doing? Hopefully it wasn't like her trying to like angle that in there, because that wasn't what it was supposed to be. Yeah. I don't know. But she's hurt. Maybe.
Oh, dude.
We know she's been working.
I know she's been banged up, but then the fucking shit comes out today that, okay, she was working through a back injury, but then all the fucking chatter comes out about how her and Britt hate each other, and her and Hayter hate each other.
Right.
and she apparently hid from Jamie Hayter because she was afraid Hayter was going to beat the fuck out of her.
Right.
For, I don't know if it was the broken nose spot.
Whatever.
I don't know if it was that drop kick from the top rope the other week to the back of her head.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
And again, this is, we were just talking about, just watch the show, whatever.
Yeah.
So, the key that I will go off of, the shorthand of this is, if they talk about it on TV, it's fake. If they don't, it's real, right? So, leading up to this, the sandbag t-shirt, carrying the sandbag, well, they made an angle out of it. It's a work.
Yeah.
But then this happens, and it blurs that line a little bit. But it also makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah.
People will feed bullshit to these to these dirt sheets to help. The social media is also a very powerful tool in wrestling now.
Sure is.
To work the dummies like Sean Ross Sapp into making your shit more interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then, again, we're going to talk about that in a fucking second. But I don't know. I like Rosa. But Rosa has a reputation from way back in the fucking, what was her name? It wasn't Diamante, it was the other one.
Oh, yeah, but Ivelisse, I don't
Ivelisse.
believe a fucking word that
Me either.
says.
Me either, but the reputation is there from one side, and it seems to be very similar going in, right? But also, Britt kind of seems like an asshole.
Yeah, I mean...
So, who knows?
Who knows?
Right? So, it is again a case of you're just going to have to sit back and wait. If, I think, they're saying, that she's not hurt, or she is hurt, but also Tony Khan, she's got some heat backstage, and they want to take her away for a bit to try and cool it down and figure it out, and then she can come back in, and hopefully it's squashed and whatever, and they're using the injury as a point to do that, whatever. I don't know.
And people are saying she was poo-pooing because apparently she was supposed to lose to Toni Storm at the pay-per-view.
Right.
I don't know,
right.
Man.
And we also know that Britt Baker boo-boo faced when she lost that title.
Sure. She sure did.
So I think it's a ball of egos there.
Yeah.
And that's what wrestling is always going to be.
Of course.
And Tony Khan is starting to get more people in place to manage that kind of shit. But this is a case of just watch. I think if this is the interim women's championship, then I think it probably leans a little bit more towards the Rosa's hurt and they're just letting her take a rest kind of thing. If it's not an interim championship, if she vacates, especially because they didn't just ask Punk to vacate, but they're asking Rosa to. I think that's like hey, let's just move on from this and see what we can make of it later.
Sure. Yeah, and this leads to it's going to be a 4-way at the pay-per-view. It's going to be Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida.
The returning Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, strap up Hayter, you fucking
right.
cowards.
That to me, that's the so we've been saying on the show for a long time. And again, this whole show is us speculating, but we've been saying a long time that the most interesting thing that you can do in that division is strap up Hayter and make Britt jealous about it and split them.
Yep.
But now in a 4-way, you have Hayter beat Britt
have her pin,
and make it even more intense.
Yep.
And that's where that goes. I think Hayter, I think Toni Storm is very good. I think you can strap up any of them. I would rather you not do Britt, but if you're trying to rehab the division, they're going to strap up Britt because Tony's a bit of a mark for her, and people love her. She's very over.
For sure.
But I think any of them can do it. I love that Sheeta's back. I love Sheeta. Still my favorite in that division. But she's not going to get it there. No. But I think the most interesting way is Hayter. You can have Toni Storm win it and still have Hayter turn and Britt split. But I think you put it on Hayter, shock the world a little bit. And I think Hayter is the most capable in that match.
Fucking deserves
right.
it, dude.
I think Hayter's the most capable in that match to carry Britt to bigger and better matches. To make Britt look like she belongs a little more. I think Hayter's the one that has her, which is crazy to say because Toni Storm's a very accomplished wrestler, but Hayter just has it. And I think she can make Britt look a little better than she is.
Hayter got it all right.
So, Hayter can get it. Sorry.
Brought the grease in here.
Sorry. There's a little crossover with At Odds there for a second. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. But we'll see. We'll see. Sit back and watch.
Next, you had Father versus Son.
I didn't watch any of this.
Gun versus Gun.
Yeah,
it was.
Listen, I love Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass.
Yeah.
I don't feel one way or another about Mr. Ass Jr. and El Hijo del Mr. Ass. But whatever, they cheat to beat their old man. And then
they
Stoke
run off with
recruits them.
Stoke.
Right.
So
yeah.
Sure.
Stoke put out that graphic of the people who he's recruited, and he has either a tag team spot or 2 spots left for singles wrestlers.
Yeah, just
he's going to need he doesn't have a lady, right? He's got.
Does he have Jade or no?
No,
or he's just her publicist.
I think he's just her publicist.
That's weird.
Yeah, he has Ethan Page.
Yeah,
the Ass Boys, Lee Moriarty. The Ass Boys, and then it's looking like 2 more spots, either a tag team or 2 singles wrestlers. Yeah. So he's going to need. I'm going to assume he's going to try and.
It's going to be a big
bring in a lady. Yeah.
So the only thing was that Swerve and Keith Lee ran out and saved the Acclaimed from getting beat up.
Yeah.
And then backstage later in the show, it's going to be them versus the Acclaimed for the AEW tag titles at the pay-per-view.
That's a dangerous match.
Yeah, because you kind of have 2 babyface teams.
And God, do people love the Acclaimed?
Everyone loves
the Acclaimed, and Swerve and Lee are on somewhat shaky ground, and at any point you could circle back to that we don't actually like each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the Acclaimed are hot enough to hotshot that title to them. So that's a dangerous match to have, because you run the risk of Swerve and Our Glory getting booed out of that building.
Yeah, I agree. So next was Britt Baker, Kylan King.
Yeah. I like that they're giving Kylan a shot again.
Kylan looks good.
I think she looks good. And, 6'1" certainly fucking helps.
Yeah, for sure. You know, she was one of those, like, hey, I'm going to go work indies and other places because I want to get better.
Yeah.
And she's gotten better, I think.
Yeah.
Britt wins, of course.
Yeah.
So here's the problem, and I'm going to tie this in with, like, the Eddie stuff from earlier. With supposedly Sammy calling Eddie a fat piece of shit in the promo, and Eddie being pissed, saying, well, if I'm supposed to win, then you just got beat by a fat piece of shit.
Right.
What does that make you?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't elevate anybody. And it's kind of where Britt teeters on that line, where it's, I don't care if Thunder Rosa beats me, I'm still going to be more over than her.
Right.
And, this division fucking sucks without me, and everybody sucks without me.
Right. Then you shouldn't lose to anybody because you're losing to losers.
Yeah, and it's like, it's you walk that fucking line, and it's just tough, man.
It's lazy. It's someone who hasn't put the pieces together yet, and I think that's her and Sammy both have that. Sammy clearly, because that dude just that TNT title run with him and just what a disaster.
It was a disaster.
But like it's lazy, and it's you're not putting enough thought into it because you feel you don't need to, right? Well, just say this. People will like it, and who cares?
No.
They cheer me. Who cares? Well, it's you're walking a tightrope.
Yeah, so it does. It goes back to that. Like, Jericho told a story about it once, where way back in the day, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be this old bald fat guy," and then his response was, "Oh, well, you're going to get beat by an old bald fat guy. So what does that make you?"
And I think
Mick Foley talks about that in his one book, where he says, I forget who he's talking about, but he's like, but if you're going to get beat by this broken down old man, then what does that make you?
Right.
And
I think
that's not the goal of that.
Right. And I get the thought process, like, well, it's supposed to hype you up because people will be like, you still got it. You're not broken down. People think it's going to elevate the baby faces. Yeah. And it does, but it's superficial. And it's an older school way of thinking that, like, making sure that your promo doesn't hurt you in the long run either. And I think, again, you can all track it back to, like, what wrestling has become. And, like, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that wrestling, it changed because everybody knew wrestling is fake, so you can get away with that shit. But when you're surrounded by people who think in that old school way, it doesn't fly. And it's personal preference, but I personally agree. I like that better. Your opponent should always be a threat, because if you lose, you look like garbage. That's, if I'll even go back to, like, Marco Stunt back in the day. When people would cut a promo and be like, well, you're so fucking small, who cares? You're nothing. Well, when you get in the ring and he throws a punch and you sell it, Well, but you just said he was nothing.
Yeah.
And he's beating your ass. Doesn't matter that you win the match.
Yep.
You know, you're still getting beat up by this dude for part of the match. It makes you look worse in the long run. And a lot of wrestling fans might not think that way, but AEW fans think that way.
Yeah, it's true. Next match.
Sheeta comes back at the end of this too.
She did, yes.
And I'm always happy to see Sheeta. And she's Wave champion or whatever.
That I don't
Something.
know.
Yeah, she has a title. She defended it against Emi Sakura on Elevation this week.
Oh,
she has a Japanese
good.
title. Yeah,
Good.
For one of those promotions.
John Moxley versus CM.
All right, the match of the I don't know year, decade.
So this is 9 o'clock
Whatever.
hour. A lot of people are in shock
Right.
over this. I'm in shock over this. You're in shock
Right,
over this.
and we know it's not the main event.
Which
We know we still have Death Triangle versus United Empire to go.
But it's so fucking weird because they're selling it like, oh, if it goes the full hour, we're going to stay with it the whole time. And it's like, what?
Yeah, right.
So CM Punk is out. John Moxley's out. This crowd's fucking red hot.
Mm-hmm.
John Moxley proceeds to fucking dog walk
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Right.
The only offense Punk had is when he threw the high kick
Mm-hmm.
and he started grabbing his plant foot, which was the
Yes.
foot that he hurt.
Right.
Which I saw people don't get the fucking concept of, like, if you throw a kick and you hurt your plant foot, like that could happen, everyone.
Mhm.
Like, oh, he's selling the wrong foot. He didn't kick him with that foot.
No, but to
Like-
throw that kick, he has to shift all his weight onto a
Yeah.
foot that was just broken.
It's just,
If
I'm
you're-
sitting there and I'm
he
like,
has
are people
he has
don't
a
fucking
shattered
understand
foot,
this?
and his arch could have collapsed, and that's the end of his
Like,
foot.
people don't.
Right.
I don't
Right.
fucking know, man.
Right. But it worked. But it also works a different way. It works a bunch of ways, which is why you just have to watch the fucking show.
Yes.
Because it could also be Punk fucking with you to think he's out. Like, you could do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It gives you people speculating that he's selling the wrong foot, so something's up, right? Something's up in the match. It's giving you he's actually hurt and he can't wrestle, and it's fueling all the rumor shit about he's taking his ball and going home.
Yes.
Because why sell the wrong foot? Well, they just need to get the title off him, so he's
Yeah.
going to quit for real.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Right.
But yeah, Moxley just fucking runs him over like a
Right.
goddamn machine.
Yep.
Moxley's your official AEW champion.
Yes.
Punk gets,
First ever 2-time.
yes, Punk gets, helped out by
Mhm.
like Ace Steel and stuff.
It's funny. When we were watching, Michelle was still watching at this point too. And I swear to God, she was interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace Steel came out, and she's like, "That guy's not a fucking doctor." And I was like,
Dr. Ace
and I was like,
Steel.
"No, he's not. That's like the agent and their
Yeah.
friends. He's coming to check on his friend." And she's like, well, "Why is he pretending to be a doctor?" I'm like, "He's not. He's just checking on his friend. Doc Samson's next to him."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Sure, Doc Samson." And I'm like, "They have to have a doctor. It's the rule. Like whatever." And I was just like, it's so funny. She saw Ace Steel's googly eyes, and she was like, "That guy's not a fucking doctor.
You're right. He's a pro wrestler.
He's a pro wrestler, right?"
So yeah, Moxley reigns supreme.
Right.
The money look is Punk looking at Ace Steel on the outside, looking back at the ring and seeing Mox with the 2 belts, and then getting carried out the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, again, I'm not gonna go into the 40 different ways that I've
Sure.
looked where this is gonna go.
Right. Think about it
I have a bunch of
Right.
different ways, but this is building to be something so good.
Right. So the match is still going to happen between the two of them at the pay-per-view. There's no denying that.
Yes.
Maybe they'll add a stipulation to it. Maybe they won't. I think this makes that match bigger. I've read the speculation that Mox sort of approached them and said, "Hey guys, listen, I got no problem losing, but I also don't want to. I don't want to come out worse on this. So give me this here, and we'll do it the right way at the pay-per-view. Also like the pay-per-view was fine. It's meant to be his return, but there's nothing else really behind it. So let's try and make it a little bigger." And then the internet just fucking explodes, man. They can't. Oh, they don't have a title match on their pay-per-view. Why am I gonna buy it?
No.
That was the finger poke of doom all over again.
Ugh.
First of all, I lived through the fucking finger poke of doom.
Yep, me too, man.
And I liked it. And I still like the finger poke of doom. But yeah,
it involves Kevin Nash.
people
I like it.
freaking out. The AEW's done. I'm never watching again. I saw one person say, I only watch wrestling for the marquee matches, and that's what they do with their only marquee match.
My God.
I'm like, that's the only thing you watch wrestling for?
Yeah, that's weird.
What is wrong with you? But yeah, people legit. Why am I going to buy this pay-per-view? They can't possibly build up a title match enough in a week to get it on a pay-per-view.
Sure can.
You absolutely can. Put either one of those guys on a mic.
Yeah,
you have a pay-per-view match in 2 minutes.
They're two of the top 3 promo guys in that company right now. I mean,
and that's this was what really fueled the just watch and like all the shit. Stop trying to be so involved.
Yeah,
they're telling you a story. They might completely shit the bed on this angle.
They could.
They very well could.
But guess
and
what?
We will come here and we'll complain about it. But you got to sit back and watch it. Yeah. And if you expect it to be something and then it's not, and then you're like, well, that's the worst thing ever, you're wrong. It's just you got too invested with what you thought was going to happen, and you're not the booker. It's not your fucking promotion.
Yeah.
Of course I have what I would do in every situation.
Absolutely.
But that is not a reality.
No.
So I think this pay-per-view match is, because here's the thing. People were going to buy Mox, Punk.
Absolutely.
At the pay-per-view for that match no matter what, right? Yeah. And then, all the backstage rumors about CM Punk quitting again, and he's unhappy, and he doesn't like it in AEW. Some people say he's going to go back to WWE, but they don't understand that his biggest problem wasn't with Vince. His biggest problem was with Hunter. Yep. Go back and listen to that shit. And like Punk leaning in, the best setup, and I didn't realize when this was happening, but like the best setup that they did for this was Punk did all his old Punk stuff leading up to this moment, did the Snow Angels, did the cross-legged sit, because people would be like, pipe bomb, what? Because people still freak out. Pipe bomb, where? Yeah. Huh? And so that happened, and then whatever they did after, people are bought in that it's a shoot, right? Yeah. So he's quitting, AEW's done, he's sick of being disrespected, he has a problem with Hangman, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, blah, 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 blah. This match, when he comes out on Dynamite next week to talk about this pay-per-view, he's potentially increased the buys a lot because he can lean into the I'm quitting and he's a fucking work, but he can lean in and enough people buy into it. And if they lean in a little bit more, they can get this pay-per-view to go fucking banana. Because they have so many people hook, line, and sinker with this right now.
All he has to say is, I say I'm the best in the world.
Right.
If I can't beat you, what am I doing here?
What am I doing here? Right.
Give me one chance.
Right.
In Chicago, I'm a different person.
Right.
Let's see what we got.
Right. I'm in that locker room, and everybody disrespects me, and you're all amateurs, and this and that, and I've been to the big time, and you guys haven't, and you won't listen to me, and whatever. So if I can't beat you, bad foot or not, I don't belong here, whatever. And and that's the thing. If he beat Moxley on Dynamite, everybody who was worried about him walking out and all the problems he was having, all that goes away because they gave him the title belt and you don't give a title. Maybe it goes, well, he put the pressure on him enough and Tony Khan caved and gave him what he wanted. Maybe you get that. But if he just wins that on Dynamite, all that drama and all that fucking talk on the internet and promotion that Tony Khan doesn't have to pay a single fucking dime for goes away. Yeah. But now, it's all still there.
Sure is,
and
man.
Tony Khan doesn't have to pay a fucking dime to spread it.
Nope.
And it's brilliant.
Just let the shit happen.
Right. If we go into that pay-per-view and Mox just beats the shit out of him again, then I'm going to question what's going on.
After this, Ricky Starks comes out.
What a fucking promo.
Cuts a hell of a promo.
For real.
Looking like $1 billion.
It's show business, not friends business. And I know he didn't come up with that line, but I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I can quote a New Jack City because I love New Jack City.
Right.
And remember, it's the toy friendship, or the toy business, not the toy friendship.
That's right.
Too much hanging around with Broski this weekend.
Yeah. That's fucking
hammered on my
That's
ties.
Right. Oh, boy.
After they show Moxley cut maybe one of the best promos he's ever fucking cut.
I didn't see it.
Oh my god, you didn't see the backstage promo?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, no. Oh, you said after the show. After this segment. Oh, the John Cena promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's him, John Cena, at the pay-per-view.
I loved him screaming.
This is my time.
Like, this is my goddamn time.
My time is now.
Oh, it made me so happy.
Yeah. Your time is up, my time is now. I believe he said that word for word. And he said Thug Life afterwards. Or Word Life.
I would say Word Life, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
So
Thugonomics.
Also,
Yeah, it was a really great promo by Mox,
so
too.
good,
yeah,
dude.
it really was. Yeah.
Like, you could hear the arena crowd going nuts over this promo.
For sure.
Main event.
Yeah.
Trios.
Mm-hmm.
Death Triangle.
Yeah.
Against Will Ospreay, along with Aussie Open.
Yeah.
United Empire.
I if you've listened to the show, and I will still stand by this, this is not my kind of wrestling. I don't typically like the fast offense, like all that kind of, like I like I don't want to say slow, but like methodical, hard hitting, tell that sort of story back and forth. Everyone knows my favorite wrestlers, like all that kind of stuff. When the Bucks do it, when they have these big schmozzes on the show, they do it a bunch, and it's usually not my favorite style of wrestling, and it's still not my favorite style of wrestling. But you have 6 guys in this ring that know how to do it perfectly.
So I thought this match got worked perfect.
Yes.
You start the match going about 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, when they started, it was Phoenix and Ospreay.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And the Aussie Open dudes, we've been saying this for when we saw them in DC.
So good,
right? We
dude.
saw them in DC.
Yeah.
They're really fucking good.
Yeah.
They are a really good team.
And you don't realize how big they are.
They are big dudes.
They're big
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
You start this going 70 miles an hour, just fucking,
Yep.
you're cruising.
Yeah.
And then you back off. You let your foot off the pedal. You bring it down to about 35.
Right.
And then, boom, speed it back up to about 80 miles an hour. Then, we're going to take the foot off the pedal again, go down to about 50. The last 5 minutes, we're going 115 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I love the way this was paced. I thought everybody looked fucking awesome in this.
Yep.
You have the Kip Sabian shit, which whatever, dude. I'm not a Kip guy. I'm not a fuck him either. He's always just been a guy.
We knew it was happening. We speculated it was happening.
Yeah.
I appreciate that he has like more of a defined look now. But the match is exactly the same without him there.
He doesn't look like generic indie wrestler 4.
But like he looks a little like Stan Malibu, but we won't talk about that.
Shit.
He does. You didn't think about that, but he definitely does.
Whoa.
But like my problem with it is that the match is exactly the same whether he does that or not. I don't think you need him to take out Pac in this.
You don't,
part.
but at the same time, like, okay, you build it to now we got to feud for the Atlantic title.
Right,
which
exactly.
Is like what
and
you're supposed to
probably
do.
going to do that for the first time defended on AWTV.
You would think, right?
I think that's where you're going to go with that. And I get that. I was just like, this match is what it is. And like, it was a little bit of an interruption to how good everything else was but I put this on my favorite part of this whole match is that Kip Sabian has the confidence enough to interject him into a match where he is clearly the worst worker.
Yeah, like say what you want, crowd went nuts for it.
Right, absolutely.
Chanting for him and shit.
I'm pretty sure he himself has been carting his ass around the country with that box. We saw him in Philly how long ago?
Oh god, yeah.
And everyone knew it was Kip Sabian, but he never took it
Everybody
off.
knows it's Kip Sabian.
He didn't like take it off and be like, "Oh, it's me." He took pictures and shit, but like, so I appreciate that part of it. Am I excited that Kip Sabian is back? No. But I'm willing to see what he can do with Pac.
I'm willing to give it a chance, dude. Like, it's not like a guy where I'm like, fuck,
but I think,
sucks.
He needs a total revamp. When they, like, music needs to change. Everything needs to be different. Present him completely differently.
Yeah, don't present him like a fucking dork video game guy.
Right.
Just don't. I'm sorry. You
right.
can't fucking do it.
Yep.
But United Empire gets the win.
Yes. Shocked by that.
Crazy.
But I think, again, Pac is sort of back and forth, so he can't. I don't think he's going to be committed to the U.S. long term.
So they get the win. Kenny Omega's music hits.
Yep.
And I'm sitting in my bedroom going, here we fucking go, baby. Yeah. Omega Ospreay. Mm-hmm. It's going to fucking happen. And it's next week on Dynamite.
Wait, the singles match?
No, the 6-man.
Yeah, the 6-man. Yeah,
it's going to be Kenny and the Bucks against United Empire.
Yeah, my guess is this is going to be long term to set up them for Wrestle Kingdom.
Has to,
right?
You saw the little promo after the show went off the air.
I like that. How can I expect you to fill my shoes when you're still wearing diapers,
dude? But here's the thing. Omega was smart about it, where he's just going. You just wrestled 5 days in a row with a bunch of low-tier New Japan guys, and you lost to Okada, and he goes, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
I've lost to Okada, but I've also beat him.
Right.
And I was like, oh, what a line that was.
Yeah.
It was so good, because that's Osprey's big thing. He's never beat Okada.
Right.
So, I thought that was such a good line.
Yeah.
And I wish that would have been on TV. That would have been a great hammer home, but oh boy. AEW is sure getting your buzz for one reason or another right now.
Right, and
that broke 1 million in the ratings last night.
And that's a really interesting thing about this show. Because if I was to run this show back to you, not a lot of good wrestling on this show.
I thought the main event was
great. Was awesome.
I thought Dax and Jay Lethal was good too.
Right.
Other than that, no, there wasn't.
Right, but it's a little as far as the wrestling they've been giving us, this was more promo heavy because they're building towards a pay per view, and that's sort of what they do.
The Punk mock,
but it's interesting to see, and I saw some people online being like, "This wasn't a great show," whatever, and I saw some people say it was a great show. I thought it was great, but for a different reason. Yeah. I thought it was the rumor stuff they've leaned into in the right way in some cases. And everything kept me fascinated, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And that's the big thing. They keep me guessing. I don't know what's going to happen with Punk and Mox. I don't know what's going to happen with Rosa. Whether it's shoot or work or in between or a work shoot or a shoot work, HH, who knows? Right? But it keep me guessing, and that's when wrestling's at its best. I shouldn't be able to figure out everything, because if it is, then it's boring and it's stale. But there's if wrestling, and we always say all the time, if wrestling's good, wrestling is easy.
Sure.
If you're making the right decisions, if it logically makes sense for wrestling, but you also have to figure out how to keep me guessing, keep us guessing, and what's going to happen next. And that's how you get people to tune in the next week and spend $50 on a promo or on a pay-per-view, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah. And I think this show, while the wrestling that was on there was good, but it's not as jam-packed with great wrestling as they've had, keeps you engaged. I don't know what's going to happen with Garcia and Jericho.
Nope.
And I don't think the BCC has room for another fucking person. I don't think they need another person. But who knows? Keep me guessing, because I can come up, like you said, we can come up with 40 different fucking ways any of this stuff can go. None of that matters. The only way it matters is the way Tony Khan makes it fucking go.
Exactly.
So that's gonna be this was good and has some fucking buzz.
I thought it was great. I did. Cool I texted you last night. I'm so fired up over this.
Yeah, I think they're on a great fucking run. I think they're able to give us different styles of TV from week to week sometimes, and I'm pretty pumped about what AEW's doing.
Me too. All right, let's hit our final thing of the week. What we've been kind of tracking.
Yes.
The Noah N1 tournament.
Yes.
There was only 2 nights this week.
2 nights. They're not back until the 27th or 28th.
Yeah. And I mean soft as in I only watched 3 matches.
Okay, I watched more than that, but we'll run through it.
The first night.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 matches.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes.
The first night I only watched 2, so
I watched 5.
I guess you watched 5. You're an insane
So
person.
here's why. I'll tell you why. Because
then here, you take the lead on this.
So because last week when we were talking about it, I got a little burned out and I didn't get to watch all of it. So I crammed as much as I could and watched 4 matches. And this is moving quick. These shows are mostly tournament matches.
Yeah.
Right?
There's 8 matches a show tournament wise.
So and 5. After this week, most of the guys only have 2 matches left or so. So there's a lot of guys I hadn't seen wrestle yet. So I wanted to try and get as many of those guys in to see what they were doing. A lot of guys I'm not going to watch again. I just wanted to see what they're doing and watch a match or two. So I really watched a bunch of Noah this week. So I'll take the lead. The 19th, whatever day of the N1 it is, I have no idea. Night 5. Not that much left. The first thing I watched from that night, it was Fujita versus Anthony Green.
Did not watch.
I know you didn't watch that. I was interested in watching this because Anthony Green, formerly in NXT, indie guy, whatever. I wanted to see what Fujita would do against him, because Anthony Green is a small, young guy with no MMA background, and Fujita's a dick. So I
sums it up.
So I wanted to see if Fujita was actually going to work. And we talked last week, he's in better shape. He looks good.
Yeah.
He's wearing the Power Gut singlet.
Looks like he's playing ball.
Right. And, he historically, that was when he had that title. He didn't want to lose to anybody without, legit behind the scenes, didn't want to lose to anybody without an MMA background.
Yeah.
So I watched this. It's fine. Fujita wins, because of course he does. Sure. There was no denying that.
Never in doubt.
But he bumped for Green a bunch, which I was shocked.
Good.
And he even let him get a pretty close falsie with the Hitman kick out of the corner, shoulders down, roll back on the guy pin. Yeah. So he got a close falsie. So I was like, okay, he's playing ball. I know he's not going to lose to this kid.
He's letting him get a little shot.
But he let him get a little bit, and I thought that was real nice, so I wanted to see that.
Hey, kid, get your shit
right.
in.
The next match I watched was Nakajima versus Jack Morris, not Zach Morris.
Did not watch
so again, I wanted to see Jack Morris. I've never seen him before. Wanted to see what was going on. Nakajima's the dude. So I thought this was really good. Nakajima wins. So Jack Morris is using a Tiger Driver as a finish.
Yes.
The finish of this is he puts Nakajima up for the Tiger Driver, and if you know, you'll get this. Nakajima hits him with an Ultimo Dragon-esque Rana reversal, where they're both floating in the air for half of it somehow, and it's super quick and tight, and then the two legs get hooked, and he leans forward.
Pac and Ospreay last night.
Right, and he leans forward with it. So that was cool. Morris got a bunch of really wildly close falsies in this match. They like this dude. He's Scottish, I think.
Yeah.
They were saying. Again, he looked good. I don't know if there's a future for him there or whatever. They're sort of trying out international talent in Noah.
Trying to see what sticks.
Right. And he had a good match against Nakajima. If you didn't, there's something wrong with you, not him. The next match I watched Masato Tanaka versus Mochizuki.
I did not watch this.
Okay. So these are two old greats. This is combined age over 100 years old.
Oh, Jesus.
Masato Tanaka, the legend, ECW.
Sure.
The Japanese bullet, FMW, just the guy.
Yeah.
Mochizuki, a Torimon Dragon Gate guy. So Mochizuki wins, which I think is his first win in the tournament, actually.
Okay.
Tanaka goes to do the sliding elbow that he does, instead of the Larry, he does the sliding elbow, and Mochizuki catches him in a cradle and rolls him up, and it was great. This was a good match.
That's your style.
Right. It's two old guys wrestling their style. Tanaka is ageless. Mochizuki's very good. He's always been very good. I'm a big M2K fan from back in the day. But Masato Tanaka is seemingly ageless. And is just a wonder and a joy to watch in that ring. This is a really good match between two old guard kind of guys. I really liked it. Mochizuki gets his win. The next match I watched was Masaki Kitamiya versus Segura.
I watched this.
Okay. So I hadn't seen Segura yet in the N1s.
Beefy boys.
And I will always watch Kitamiya because that's my dude. And this is what you thought it would be.
Beefy boys.
Right. They beating the shit out of each other through most of this. Kitamiya, a young man, youngish man.
Segura,
an old man, angry. And I talked last week about how much I love the prison lock that Kitamiya does, the sort of sitting down figure four that leaves both of his hands open to strike and chop and
flex.
Whatever and flex. And he did just that, but he did it against the wrong motherfucker, and he gets caught in a front choke, and that's it.
That was it. Night, kid.
That's it. You fucked around, and you found out.
You did.
And then I didn't watch this initially, but I watched it last night after AEW. The main event of that night, I think.
Yes.
Keno versus Hideki Suzuki.
I also watched this.
Because you told me to watch it Tuesday night, I watched it. I will say, while I enjoyed it, the wrestling world was exploding after Dynamite.
Sure.
So my attention was split. But this match, it was good. Suzuki's not my dude. The more I watch, I'm like, not my guy. But this was good. Keno fucking rules. I like that he's wearing the lion shoulder jacket all the time now.
I love Keno.
And this goes with time limit draw.
That's why I wanted you to watch.
I think they said first time ever in the N1.
First draw ever. Yeah.
1 point to both men.
Yep. They're sitting at a hefty 7 right now.
Yeah, and I have a bracket, but I forgot it, so you're just gonna have to live with that. We'll go over all that maybe next week because I don't think the finals are happening before the next episode.
I don't think so.
So, yeah, it's close to being over. Though I think the leaders are the people who you think are leading, who would be if you know who's who.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was good. I liked this whole show. I really tried to see as many people as I possibly could.
Who did you watch for the next night?
How
many did you watch?
I watched 2.
Okay, I only watched 1.
Okay. I watched Go Shiozaki versus probably my favorite name in professional wrestling, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yes.
I just love saying that name.
I did not watch this.
Again, I love Go, and I had never seen El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. wrestle. I know the pandemic sort of took him out of Noah. Him and Rene Dupree were tag champs for whatever fucking reason.
So fucking weird.
Go wins. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. is cool. He's a bit of a heavier weight lucha guy, a little bit bigger.
Does he wrestle in like a singlet?
Yeah, and like it's similar to his dad's and his grandfather's mask.
Sure.
A little fancied up, but like the same sort of pattern on the face.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
The face?
But he's a bit bigger, heavier guy. Like, you're not heavy, but like a bigger guy than you would typically think of a luchador. I thought this match was good. I like Go a lot. My biggest takeaway is, who the hell do I have to call to get Go versus Okada?
I don't know, but it's got to happen.
Is there a bigger like match, inter-promotional or cross-promotional match than Go Shiozaki versus Okada? Like, I think that match would be bonkers.
Yeah.
Go is amazing. And that's the matchup that I dream of right now.
I
is
get
those
down
two.
with
They're both so good and like similar but different. Like, I really think that match would be fucking
Also,
really
I
good.
would die for Takeshita versus Okada.
Yeah, sure. Any of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that sort of, I know Keno's the champ and Nakajima's a bit, but Go should be the face of Noah.
The face?
Yes, the face. And Okada being who he is. I just think that's a marquee. That's a big
agree.
fucking match.
I'm with you on that.
The second match, which I think is the one that you watched,
Sure did.
is Matsukatsu Funaki versus Satoshi Kojima.
No, I did not watch this.
You didn't watch this one?
No.
Really?
I watched a completely different one.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't watch the one I watched.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is mostly a Funaki style match. The original grapple fuck guy, basically.
Yeah.
Fantastic wrestler. This is Kojima sort of having to work a grapple style, which Kojima's a little too big for, and it's not in his background in any way. He comes from they're similar in age and have crossed paths before, but like this is not Kojima's style. He's much more of a hard-hitting bruiser kind of guy. And this is Funaki kind of putting Kojima in those situations until he absolutely eats a fucking lariat and loses.
Dude, I love that Kojima's winning with lariats.
Yes.
That makes me
He always
real
used
happy.
to. He got it from Stan.
But like,
he was gifted it from Stan.
You know, I know like in Wise, but he was the Koji cutter.
Yeah,
but
sure.
this makes me so happy.
This is him literally like he's getting stretched and he's getting choked and he's able to power out of it and he's got to reach for the ropes but he's getting frustrated and then Funaki decides to run at him at the end of the match and he just eats a lariat and loses.
I like that.
And it's really good. It's the way it is. So what was the match that I didn't watch?
Masato Tanaka versus Kazuyuki Fujita.
I
shocked you didn't watch
I did not want to watch another Fujita match.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of done.
God,
I was kind of good.
It was so good.
Was it really?
Yeah, Tanaka beats him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I had seen my fill of Fujita for this week, so I was like,
not me, dude.
okay.
I'm actually enjoying Fujita right now. I'm shocked, but yeah, Masato Tanaka beats him.
Okay.
They are a literal combined age of 100.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fucking good.
Good.
It's all right. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
That's fine.
I'm just disappointed.
Okay, that's fine. I figured, I picked my guys, and I had already watched a Fujita match this week. And,
nothing wrong with that.
And a Tanaka match. So I was like, I want to watch Koji again, and I hadn't seen Funaki yet. And but that's good. We're covering a lot of Noah. We're covering ground here.
I don't know how much more's left.
I don't know how much more is left either. The N1 is a little bit of a mystery to me. We'll do a better time.
Evolution is a mystery.
Right. We'll do a better job next year's N1. But the
will.
finals are coming up. I'm sure it's going to be good. One of the things about this N1 that I can kind of say is like comparing it to the G1, which is fair but isn't fair because it is
fair.
It is modeled after the G1,
but it's just not fair.
and it did overlap. But the N1 doesn't seem to have the urgency and the big feel that the G1 does, and I know it's a bigger promotion and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, from a match standpoint, when you put on a G1 show, if you watch the main event, they were going to try and tear the fucking house down.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of people trying to tear the house down in Noah.
No, me
not that
neither.
they're having bad matches, because they're not. I mean, I'm sure there are, but like there's a lot of these matches are really good. But like you get some 5 stars or 4 to 5 star matches in whatever episode of the G1 you want to watch.
Yeah.
And this one you're like, okay, the matches are good, but they're, sort of
It's
just
nothing
doing what
like-
they do and getting through it.
It's nothing like knockout must see.
Right.
So
The
far.
urgency
There's been a
isn't
few
there.
that have been like good, but nothing
Right.
like
Yeah, it's the hype isn't necessarily there.
Yeah.
I'm sure the finals will be great no matter who it is, but hopefully. But yeah,
Yeah.
it could. Listen, Fujita can decide he doesn't want to play ball at any moment.
That's fact.
But yeah.
Iron Head himself.
So we only have like a week or two left of this.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's what we'll be covering next week, plus LVAC on
Absolutely,
Saturday.
yes.
So you'll hear that story and
Go
see
to
the
the
pictures.
LVAC this weekend.
Yeah.
Steel Stacks, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's been a
Yes.
good time. Meet and greet with a bunch of people beforehand.
Yeah.
Go give the boar all of your money.
There's a free meet and greet and a paid meet and greet.
Yes.
So, but they're happening at the same time.
Yeah, go give Boar and Erica Lee all your money. Gummy Boar in the house. Buy a fucking shirt.
Right.
I
I bought a shirt last time. Maybe I'll buy a shirt this time.
will get you. Well, there
Probably
you go. Eddie Kingston.
I'll buy a second. Listen, Erica, or if you're listening,
if they print it on black, would you?
if
buy
they
it?
print it on black, I'll buy a second one.
All right.
White shirts.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't mind wearing a white shirt. I'm glad I bought it off you guys. I like the shirt a lot. I'm a black shirt kind of guy.
Just always have been.
Right.
So yeah, have fun. We're gonna have fun there. If you
Yeah.
see us, come say hi.
Yeah, come say hi.
Can't wait
I
to
said
see all the homies.
Come say hi, introduce yourself, and I'll buy you a slice of vegan pizza or something.
I'll say hi.
Okay.
That's it.
fine.
I ain't buying you pizza.
All right. A slice, not a whole
yeah,
pizza. I'll
but-
share a slice with you.
Yeah, excited to
We'll
see
eat a slice.
everybody.
We'll eat a slice, Lady in the Tramp style.
Are we gonna do the donut recreation from the last
Oh,
show?
wait, we did that last show.
We don't. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Todd's not gonna
So
be there.
that's
so
true.
Wrestling fan
Todd's
Todd.
not coming. The Fig Daddy cool. If
Whoa! Don't
I
expose
just
the business,
exposed
brother.
the business right there.
Yeah.
If the fucking
Purely fucking
the
speculation.
picture, never mind. It's Mikey from Orange County Chopper. Anyway,
Purely speculation.
I'm gonna change my offer of I'll buy you a slice of pizza if you come introduce yourself to me or Brett at LVAC. I will buy a vegan donut and we will Lady and Tramp the donut together. Not you and me, but me and the person who introduces themselves.
Like first
to me.
introduction, you're just gonna.
Absolutely.
All right.
That is both a promise and a threat.
You can be bought in a second, huh? I like that.
I don't care.
Did you buy anything this week?
I did, buddy.
What'd you buy?
I did. So Dory Funk Jr. wrote a book.
So you bought a Dory Funk Jr.
I
book?
did. I bought
All
Dory
right.
Funk Jr.'s book.
Let's get down with that.
I hope it's not as boring as he is in the ring.
Great.
It was the funniest thing. I was talking to Michelle about it, and she goes, "Wait, Dory Funk Jr.?" And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "How can he be a junior when Terry Funk's a junior?" I'm like, "Terry Funk's not Terry Funk Jr. He's just Terry Funk.
Yeah.
The dad is Dory Senior."
Yeah.
She's like, "Dory." I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, and is Terry his real name? I'm like, yeah, it's Terrence Funk.
Yeah.
That's a real name. But yeah, so Dory wrote a book, so I bought that. And I bought something else, but you're gonna have to wait about 2 weeks, a week and a half to find out what it is.
Don't you dare! You son of a bitch.
I wonder what it could be and what it's for.
Stop
It's for your birthday.
it.
And my favorite thing
God damn it.
about your birthday being early in September is that I can buy you something super cool, and it means you have to buy me something super cool because you can't lame out when I buy you something awesome.
I already bought you something fucking super cool for your birthday,
God
you son of
damn
a bitch. You already got it. You got it
Oh.
autographed. I
Oh,
told you that
alright.
was for your birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
But yeah,
You,
that's
you a-hole.
it's
you.
true. I am. I know, but you're gonna love it. So,
All right.
did
God
I
damn it.
did I buy anything else? I don't. Oh, I did. I saw a little video. I saw a video on the internet that you sent me about the the gameplay,
really?
and the spirit of what they're trying to pull across, and I put in the old pre-order for AEW Fight Forever.
Fuck yeah, man! That just made me so happy. Yes,
on the PS4 because I don't have the PS5.
Oh my god, no, that's so cool.
So I saw the gameplay and people complaining about it, and I'm like, no, they're moving like No Mercy. Like the feet move the same way.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a accurate wrestling simulation. I need a game that's fun to play. Yep. Those are my favorite games. The spirit is there. We'll see what happens.
Dude, that just made me so
the
happy.
nicest thing about it is that I got like one of them fancy Amazon credit cards that gives me 5% back.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to buy that with rewards points. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That makes me so happy.
There you go.
I'm not pre-ordering it because I once got burned by Amazon.
Okay.
Where I pre-ordered Madden through them.
Yeah.
And it got delayed by a day. I was supposed to have it on release day and it got delayed.
Bummer.
And I was like, never again.
Yeah, okay.
I'll just go to GameStop or Best Buy the day it comes out and buy it then.
Yeah, I'm on. Video games don't matter that much to me, so
they matter to me.
Right,
sometimes.
So, but yeah, I put the
so
pre-order
happy,
in, so.
dude. Fuck yeah.
So sadly, it's PS4, so like you have a 5, so we won't really be able to cross-play.
I think you're still able to cross-platform.
Okay,
so
we'll see.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
But yeah, so it's on pre-order. I wasn't initially. But the video, if you're gonna truly aim for the No Mercy, that kind of spirit, the spirit meter with the specials, and then a super special, very like virtual pro wrestling, all that. I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's go.
Fuck yeah! That just got me so hyped.
Yeah.
So I only bought one thing this week. Mm-hmm. And this is not a paid advertisement.
Ooh.
So I purchased something from the true toy influencer of the soon-to-be-named network.
Okay.
Adam Van.
Oh.
He picked up something today, and I asked if he had the extra, and he said, we'll talk. Mm-hmm. So he texted me, and I am now an owner of the Walmart exclusive CM Punk.
Nice.
Not a paid advertisement.
Okay.
Adam Van.
Yeah.
Toy influencer, major mark influencer.
Wow.
The true Fig Daddy Cool. Putting Fig Daddy Cool to shame.
Did you just split this podcast down the middle?
This is not a paid advertisement.
Is this like? Am I gonna have to kick you through a barbershop window here? Because I'm firmly planted on the Fig Daddy Cool side.
I am not a shill for Adam Van.
All right,
the total toy influencer.
We're doing bits on this show now.
The Vansky.
We're doing bits here.
Vanhausen.
We're doing bits.
The man Adam Van.
We're doing bits.
Alexa Bliss's future ex-husband, Adam Van.
Okay.
This is not a paid advertisement.
All right. Okay. Good.
And I will say that one more time. This is not a paid advertisement.
I'm happy that all I had to do was send Todd a second $1 for him to not exploit my shoot name. Whereas you seemingly just gave away the fucking farm.
Thank you, Adam Van, toy influencer.
All right. Todd doesn't listen to podcasts, so this is clearly all right.
Adam Van, Adam Van.
Big Daddy Cool doesn't listen to podcasts.
Was not paid to say this.
Okay.
Let me make that clear.
All right.
Was not paid a single penny to say this.
Okay.
Thank you, Adam Van.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to We Need Wrestling, everybody. We are, I guess, proud members of the soon-to-be-named network. Maybe we'll have to adjust that relationship.
The soon-to-be-named network featuring Adam Van.
Yeah, we're gonna,
social media toy influencer.
Definitely going to adjust that alignment coming. We're going to reassess that situation. We can find us online at We Need Wrestling, WeNeedWrestling.com, at We Need Wrestling on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at WeNeedWrestling@gmail. Questions, recommendations, whatever you happen to have, shoot them our way. Like I said, we're a proud member of the Soon-to-be-named network.
Featuring Adam Van.
At STBN Network on Twitter, soon-to-be-named network.com, soon-to-be-named network.tumblr.com.
Host of At Odds with Wrestling, Adam Van. And Porch Talk, Adam Van.
And Weekly Porches. Final Wrestling Place, Hit My Music.
Toy Influencer, Adam Van. Not a paid advertisement.
Wow. I can't tell who this is for anymore. Who you're trying to aggravate.
Definitely not for Adam Van.
Okay. Just listen to my name now. We're going to fucking exist. Just find it. We'll be back next week with more fucking wrestling talk, and hopefully Brett won't sell his soul 2 weeks in a row. Jesus fucking Christ. No, I'm not letting you do it again. Goodbye.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!